너가 뭐라고 하든 난 그냥 할 거야. 내가 하고자 하는 거 그냥 할 거야. 내가 하고 싶으니까 그냥 계속 할 거야.
Alright guys, welcome everyone, good afternoon, happy Saturday, welcome to Nüfly session 35. For anyone joining us for the first time, just a quick reminder for what Nüfly is. Nüfly, we are the fine line between dream and reality, and we are here to help the modern artist rediscover or find again any lost motivations or intentions that they had during their way through stories and art. So thank you for joining us today again. I'm one of your 3 hosts today. My name is Daniel. I'm the art director here at Nüfly. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Dakfu. I'm gonna hand the microphone over to Belinda.
Hey guys, what's up? Again, happy Saturday. I'm your editor-in-chief and video director here at Nüfly. You can find me at _ZenRabbit. Yeah, I'm super excited about this Saturday. It's been a long time coming. Definitely been needing to showcase this guy. He's got all the heat, you know what I mean? Yeah, I would definitely pick him to be like my warrior homie. You know, if shit went down, I'd be like, yo, let's go. You know what I mean? So anyways, yes, I'm gonna pass the mic over to Kaz now.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining y'all. I'm really nervous about talking about myself for 3 hours, but I'm really grateful for the opportunity with the homies. Just, you know, another time that we can sit and talk about some of our work that we do that we're passionate about, and you know, I think it'll be fun. And yeah, I'm just very grateful for this opportunity.
Oh yeah,
and yeah.
Nice. Well, just a heads up to Don was unable to join us today, but you'll be able to catch him next time. Yeah, well, Kaz, today is your episode. We've been working with you from like as far as almost I could remember too, from the very like early days also. I would like to start off our conversation maybe from your end on how you were introduced to Belinda and then maybe to Nüfly. Yeah, from your perspective.
Nice. Yeah, so I know we talked a little bit about it when we did Belinda's show, but yeah, it was just like when I first met Belinda, it was I'm not even sure if I even seen some of her work. I think I did. It was like through selection, but I didn't like actually meet like Belinda as a person like until randomly at like a homie's, I think it was like a birthday party, but it was like it was like a baby's birthday party. And so I'm not really sure. I keep forgetting like what the connection with like
It was Drew.
Yeah, it was Drew.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like you were just chilling there, and the funny thing was just like all like kind of like the close homies, and it was kind of like a very selective like crowd because it was just like in a hotel, so it was like, you know, it was like if you knew, you knew, you know, and so yeah, I think I remember she said something maybe about like my jacket or something because it was a Moon Collective jacket, or was it Moon Collective?
It might have been Moon Collective, yeah.
Yeah, and so she was like, "Oh yeah," and then I think we just started talking about like random shit like what you call it, makers, West Coast crafts, and like just like different shit like just art and stuff. And I think like video. I think I can't remember the conversation, but I think you remember mentioning like these videos that you did. Then I actually realized I put like the connection together that you were this person, Zen Rabbit. And so I was like, "Oh, okay, dope. Yeah, I seen some of your work." So it was like, you know, so we, I was telling her like I do video work too, and like some projects, you know, and it seems like it was like long ago now too, but it was probably like what, like 2 years ago or something maybe.
Yeah.
But even though that seems like, that's not really that long, but it seems like it was like that long ago after this year, and like even last year. I mean, this last 2 years have been full of crazy shit. You know, Belinda knows like you know, last year was more like low-key crazy for me because of just some shit I went through. But yeah, but from there Belinda introduced me to Dawn and Dan. I think Dan was I got introduced to Dan first. You went on Belinda's like birthday retreat.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the first time I really spent I mean, I like go to the Phil's to kick it with y'all, and just like, you know, like just chop it up and stuff,
take photos. But
then like I think it was at the same time we were working on this. You like tagged me in to do this art project for that girl.
A roomie?
No, it was
the dance. It was like some
it was for,
cover art.
Yeah, it was for what's it called? When I was working with Gabe, he had that one.
Oh, your project.
That one client. Yeah, and then I specifically remember he was like, "Oh, can you like?" She wants the butterflies that move. I'm like, I don't know how to do that, but I know someone who does.
Yeah, then we do. That one was crazy, you know. We won't talk about that one. But
dark times. Fun times.
But yeah, then we it was a crazy. We spent a crazy time at Belinda's retreat where it was like this dope mansion. It was like some of the first times that I really kicked it with even Belinda. Like we did, you know, we kicked it at shows or something like that. But I mean, we all spent like the weekend together and shit. And yeah, it was dope. It was like an epic house too.
Dude, that was definitely like the most dope house I rented. It's so huge, dude. Like, yeah, it was endless. And
it's like we had a loud ass like DJ setup, and like you couldn't even
I brought
hear
my
shit
Rocket
from outside.
8s, you know. We had like Gerald with us, and yeah, man, it was Wufu and Tokay, yeah.
Yeah, those guys are going all night.
They were, yeah, but they're like my favorite kind. You know what I mean? When you're like fucked up and you're on like that insomniac level.
Yeah, that's what they were on. I was in the room.
Oh man.
I was trying to lay in bed and like my eyes open and shit. It was dope. I mean, even every room was pretty cozy too. Like, they're all like master bedroom sizes and shit.
Yeah, man, it was epic.
Yeah, I remember when we first arrived, we were trying to like all decide which room we should be taking, and then like every room had like a big ass bed, and I felt hella guilty like just taking up
like a big ass bed.
Yeah, and so I ended up sleeping like on this couch inside like the master bedroom. There was like a separate office. I'm like, all right, I'll take this one. Like,
was it comfortable?
Yes, because personally, it doesn't
privacy.
I can sleep anywhere. Yeah, I'm not too picky, but the overall experience I thought was just hella dope, and it was nice, you know. Like I think I definitely got a sense of like family out there. Like everyone was like cooking for one another. Like hanging out was really casual. Everyone just felt down, you know.
Sure.
And it was nice, like because these were all of Belinda's friends. It was like nice. Like I kind of like.
Because it was the first time you met these cats too, right?
Yeah. But because of that, I actually like tried to stick with you and Jess like as much as possible because of
yeah. I was just looking. I was just trying to like. I need to click too.
Like, who are you?
Yeah, because I was so like No, I was so nervous to be like, you know, like you don't want to come later. You don't want to be like the last one there. You don't want to be the first one there either. But, so you want to be like, you know, like, cause that's, you know, everyone showed up.
I wish I was the first one there, honestly, because like it was such a nice house. Like
you get to see it empty.
Yeah,
like,
I should have just rented my own
grand
car and
entrance
just went
type
over
shit.
there. Yeah.
What was
I'm surprised we never shot pictures there. Well, we did shoot pictures, but they weren't like, you know, like photo shoots.
Yeah.
They were just like casual pictures, you know.
Yeah, they were more kind of like lifestyle shoots rather than like.
Which is probably cooler if you think about it. Yeah, it's probably
It
cooler.
was crazy. Dan brought all his shit too. And
I
we're
did.
like,
I brought a fucking strobe light and a C-stand and everything. There's like no reason to use it.
We could have in the fucking foyer.
Yeah.
Hella easily. It was so nice.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to make use of the next Airbnb. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Probably rent Airbnbs over studios. Like.
For real, dude.
That's interesting. Yeah. For a lifestyle type of shoot, I think like for Airbnbs, it'd be a little difficult to set up like a backdrop on inside there.
It depends on what Airbnb you get though.
The house.
True. For all we know, like there could be like a really big garage or something.
But yeah, it was my 30th birthday, and I combined like a few different groups of people together. And I like to bring different groups of peeps together that, you know, it's hard to meet people when you get older. You know what I mean? There's less opportunity. And like you want to like have a curated group of people already, like, oh okay, like no drama here, it's gonna be chill, you know, have a good time. So yeah,
nice.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah.
That was like my transitional point from like Burning Man into like magazine too. Because there was like a lot of my Burning Man friends. It was kind of like a transitional point.
Nice.
But yeah, thanks, Kaz.
Kaz,
the goat.
Kaz, what was your first impressions on Nüfly as a team?
As a team, I thought everyone was cool. Like, I mean, all you guys seem like friends I would have had, like, you know, since day one, like, you know, like day one homies. Like you guys were, it's pretty comfortable for me because you know, we have all of us had a lot of common. And so it wasn't like, I mean, when you first get to know somebody, you know, at first it's just like, yeah, you're just getting to know them. You're kind of just talking, whatever. But it wasn't like, it wasn't that hard to like get to know everyone. Everyone, all of you guys have different personalities though. Yeah. Like not one of you guys are the same as far as like temperament. Even, you know, work styles, that's where we're still trying to, you know, a lot of you kind of do have the same work styles, but then you guys are all different. You guys have different styles in general too. So it's like, you know, that's what I always look at a team, because like, you know, like being involved in like sports too, it's like sometimes you can't have just all like the same kind of person or whatever, same player or creative or whatever. So that's what's dope about a team, because you know, you guys can you know, widen out the spread a bit, you know, of what we can cover and what our capability is. So I mean, it was cool. I mean every day we still learn something new about each other and shit. And I feel like that's what a team is. It's always like ever changing. I always say that shit, but like, you know, there's always adjustments, obviously. We know there's one thing that we know is adjustments.
Yes. This is definitely one thing.
Endless adjustments, endless mistakes, endless figuring out how to pick yourself back up and show up and do the work.
And I'll be honest, I mean, like that's like for me personally, endless adjustments is like my fucking whole life. That's been like the whole fucking, I don't want to say theme, but this is what I've always had to do, was adjust and shit. It doesn't matter. And like, if you know me, I hate adjusting too. Like I'm a Taurus, you know, like I don't like, you know, like yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, May 16, but
your own body.
Yeah, I'm like a solid, like I'm pretty solid, but I'm quiet about it, you know, like I'm like there, you know, like you know, but I'm not gonna be like super like yelling about it or anything like that. I'm just you know, so I'm just there, but I'm also, you know, I'm open to adjustments and shit like that, especially when we work in a field like this. I mean, it's something that we have to get the skin for. Because I mean, like one thing that I was going through a lot of my older work preparing for this, but and one thing that, you know, I've learned is it's basically we have to be like open, and you know, we have to humble ourselves for shit so we can learn stuff, you know.
Send tweet. Very well said. Dang.
Yeah, because I mean, I felt like when I look back at myself back in the day, like I felt like, yeah, there was a kind of an ego that I should have like, I didn't realize that was there. When it came to my work, it wasn't like I was like an open ego where I was just like, man, like I'm like the best shit ever.
Right.
But it was like almost like this humbleness to like to be lazy and not keep going and trying to expand my mind and shit, you know.
Kind of feeling like you kind of like settled on this one perspective that later down the line you kind of realize that it was kind of like holding you back
Flawed
from
or
kind
something.
of like from like
Growing
blossoming
more.
into like
Yeah.
seeing things.
And that's like almost going back to being a tourist, because it's like, you know, we take some progression and then we kind of chill, you know, take some progression, but it's like kind of like our pace and shit. And so it's I mean, it's not, I don't, for me it's nothing bad. It's just like it's just when I think of the whole like adjustments, I feel like it's like super relevant to me.
Gotcha.
I mean, at least right now, it's because like we're living in a time where all of us are adjusting.
Oh yeah.
Like on the daily type shit.
100%.
And so it's like, you know, I guess we always got to be used to that, you know. So, especially in the creative field, you know.
It's funny you mentioned that because I remember like early on during like shelter in place, there's these like couple conversations where like these like kind of memes floating around, like, oh, like freelancers have been prepared for staying in their houses like the entire time already. So like it's just a matter of like you know, continuing our work, but you know,
It's all the extroverts that are having trouble right now.
yeah but
Yeah.
to some degree I feel like introverts also, you know, periodically you're gonna have spikes where you need to go out and socialize, you know, so there's still adjustments that we had to do during this time. Speaking about back in the days, Kaz, personally for me, I feel like you have like the most like worldwide kind of experience background compared to like the rest of our team. Can we start this move into a conversation where we talk about like how, you know, this whole journey kind of started? I know you originally you're from San Diego and then went to Reno, or vice versa?
I mean, I have so I put together like a little PDF just to kind of help me talk. I guess, can I share a screen?
Yeah. It's turned on for you.
Okay, well,
A slideshow for the first section.
like this is just to help me because
Setting the bar.
I'm really worried about being all over the place.
Yeah.
Because like when I talk about my history, even I get confused. Like it's just there's just a lot
happened, huh? A lot of adjustments.
I'm like a cat in a way too, where I'm just curious about shit. So like I just be Can you see this?
Yes.
How the fuck you full screen it?
Apple Shift F.
I think he's on the PC.
Oh, he's on the.
It's just PDF. But I mean, I don't think we have to. We don't have to go.
Should be able to full screen it.
Yeah, I was just on it the other day, or yesterday. No.
Maybe this is on the PC, right, Mac? Cass?
Yeah.
Control F. Huh.
I can. What the fuck?
There has to be a way to full screen this.
Yeah.
That's weird. Hold on. Sorry, guys.
Uno
No,
momento.
I'll get. Technical difficulties are all part of the process.
I'm like Googling this shit right now.
Adjustments.
I just can't see the
Hashtag
top
adjustments.
part. Okay, here we go. Command all these L's I'm about to take.
Hey.
Okay,
we
so
go.
we're good. So, yeah, I mean, there's this thing that I used to always say. It's called "It's not the same without the pain," and I feel like that's just how it is with everything. When it comes to, especially growth, you're gonna have to feel some pain just to kind of expand your horizon in a sense, you know. As masochist as that sounds, but yeah. So basically, everything started when I mean, this is more of getting into my creative shit. But this, you know, I was like on the internet a lot, and you know, I don't know if this is kind of showing my age, but back in the day, it was all about like wares and cracks. Because you download your software and shit.
And then you need a crack code.
And all on the websites, you would just see all these websites that say wares, which is short for software.
I've never heard that term actually. Wares.
Yeah, it was more for when you downloaded software off of a site or something. This is before there was like hella like like blocks when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah.
Everything was still a new like super like free for all on the internet.
Yeah.
And I was downloading. I think the first version I ever got on Photoshop was 7.0.
Oh, dude, I actually remember that like starting screen image.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was the one I started with.
It could have been like earlier or maybe later, but I just remember because I could have had like an old version, but like this is somewhere I remember this is specifically. And like I'm the motion graphic design one of the motion graphic designer for Nüfly, so. I first got started doing like Flash when Flash was actually like a program, not like a plugin. Because now Flash has like a badass rap now because it's like like spyware and fucking.
If I remember, Flash is already like no one like it's not used anymore. Right?
Obsolete. It's pretty obsolete. But back in the day, like if you had a Flash site, you were like the shit. Do you guys remember like?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Like wow, this guy has like.
I don't.
That shit was so crispy, like when you saw the guy animation on there, I was like, whoa, this site is animated.
Yeah, like the whole site was just, everybody had, see, that's what I actually really miss about the internet now. Like, everything was, yeah, it was way more creative. I feel, yeah, now every website looks the same. Yeah. And it's kind of like, yeah. So, I mean, this is kind of the same.
I finished watching The Social Dilemma last night and I was like, fuck my brain right now, dude. Like,
wow.
I already had turned off all my notifications. I deleted Facebook off my phone, but I'm like, all right, I really gotta
those notification guys are a trip.
Dude. Yeah,
the algorithm guys.
Yeah, the algorithm guys, and then the infinite scroll guy too. I was like,
well, the infinite scroll guy is a real guy though.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's
yeah.
But I mean, that's just going back to social media was like an outlet for your creativity, really. Like Dan was on forums.
It wasn't all ads based. Like it was kind of like a Wild West.
Yeah, you got to actually kind of choose where you would want to like have an outlet.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of spaces or websites back in the day that like they had that like Zanga. There's this one that I was on. I don't know if you guys remember Asian Avenue.
Yeah, man. I was talking about that. I was talking about that on mine too. Yeah, Asian Avenue. That was the one I was on the most, honestly.
Yeah, in Asian Avenue, you can actually edit the page pretty crazy. Like,
dude, it was like a combination of like Zanga and MySpace, and
yeah, because all these sites were around way before MySpace too. Yeah. Because a lot of people started like on MySpace or whatever. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff before.
Was this Asian Ave like a Asian social media platform?
Yeah, it was mainly mainly
dude,
Asians.
It's like everything that we have out now, but like all in one spot.
Platform.
Yeah, dude. They were way ahead of everybody. I was like, what? Like,
I know, yeah, it was,
all exists on this.
I'm pretty sure it was Asian, American engineer or something that created the site. And at the time, like it wasn't as like easy to be, or like knowing Asians wasn't accessible for me. Like people that were like me, because I lived in a small city. Like I'm from Reno, Nevada, so the kind of community there is kind of like small. And at the time, like I was in high school, I was kind of gaining this like I don't want to say pride because that sounds like almost like nationalistic. I mean Asian pride, obviously that's where this is like prime Asian pride era, ASEAN.
I know this era you're talking about, dude. Tumblr era, kind of.
We had bangs and shit, like guys.
Yeah, spiked gel hair.
And like tips were fucking.
Those Asian baby girls and guys.
Yeah.
I should have put some of those. The little figures or.
Yes, that's
the
exactly
dolls
what I was talking about. Yes.
The dolls.
And they'd be like next to like a Honda Civic.
Get up, you know what I mean? With the black jacket and the white shirt and the baggy pants and the sneakers.
Dude, I used to spend hella time. This is like Photoshop. Yeah, I used to spend hella time like dressing them up. This is kind of like almost like Metro to say, but yeah, because I would like switch out the outfits. Put them. It was crazy.
For some context, guys, how old were you around this time that we're looking at? Like
So
your main stage.
on the top, I don't know if you can see the top part, but I put first millennial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not technically the first millennial generation, but I also started high school in 2000. So I graduated high school from 2000 to 2004, which is like pretty much the first batch of people that graduated high school in 2000. So that's the only reason why I say that. And it was a different kind of era because and at this time I'm like what? Well, how old are you when you start high school?
Like 14, I think.
Yeah, like
13,
13,
14.
13, 14.
Yeah.
I'm just like in middle school. I started like with the Photoshop, and then like towards high school, it's more of a lifestyle. Like or editing your pages. And at the same time, I was actually really quiet. I don't. Pretty shyer than I am now. I'm still pretty quiet, but I don't think I'm really shy in a sense. Just because you're quiet doesn't mean you're shy.
Yeah.
I want to reiterate that.
Well said.
But at the time, I was like a teenager, like I was like an adolescent, so I was like grown up, so I wasn't as confident. But so these websites had it was an outlet to talk to people. I forgot to put an AIM icon. Because that was like a big part of my life too. So I'm gonna go to
dude.
Big facts, man.
So after high school, I joined the military.
Oh shit.
Damn,
No.
look
What?
at young Kaz right there, dude.
It's the squad picture.
Guys, what led you to make that decision?
Well, I mean, like my family's we're not the richest family, so I wanted to go to school for sure. And I also wanted to travel the world. So I was in ROTC in high school, and like I did well because I felt like I knew how to be a good leader. And it wasn't about like ego or like having a power trip and shit. It was about getting shit done and like striving for something. And so like I got pretty high when it came to being in my battalion or whatever. I became like pretty much the second in command. Like there's only one person that was higher than me.
Oh dang.
In my whole high school. And I think people most of the time I did his job anyways. But for some reason, like since I did well in ROTC, I thought maybe I should try military out. And when you go to the military, you get the GI Bill, which is like free. They pay for your college a portion of the time, like 3/4 of it, pretty much.
Wow.
And so I also got paid to go to school. So if I go to a school full time, I get paid like $2,000 a month.
Dang.
Damn.
And so I wanted to. I mean, at the time, I didn't actually think my life was gonna be that like straight. Like when I started going to school. We'll get into that part, but yeah, I was like I joined because I thought I was gonna go be in San Diego, because I always had this like love for California, because I would always like California was like so sick to me at the time. I lived in Reno, Nevada, and I would always go to the Bay, to LA. Especially, I mean, I went to the Bay more because it was just like a 4-hour drive. So anytime I wanted to be like, the homies wanted to be inspired, we would just, go. Sometimes we just go to Roseville, fucking Roseville. And go to like Roseville.
What's out in Roseville?
What the hell's in
mall.
Roseville?
Oh, the malls.
Oh.
This is mall era.
The outlet
yeah.
malls?
Gotcha.
Where you can
I
like
don't
get
even
your...
know. Yeah. It wasn't even. I don't even know if they're outlet. It was just like the regular ass mall, like just
Yeah.
being teeny boppers.
I think the closest outlets would be like Vacaville.
Yeah, or Vacaville.
Yeah.
We'd actually hop to those ones too, because I mean we were just shopping for a day, then go back.
Nice.
We would, like at the time, like you're a teenager, so I was always trying to talk to the California girls.
Hey.
Because it was fairly dry in Nevada, but
I feel it.
yeah. But I mean, like being in the military, I got to travel to Dubai, Lisbon.
Dang.
This island off of Greece called the Republic of Cyprus. And I got my first tattoo in Naples, Italy too. So,
Oh dang.
Damn.
and I feel like that
What
part
was
of
it?
my last name.
Oh, okay.
It was just like fresh from when my dad had passed away, so I wanted to kind of like get the last name and for like the namesake. And plus at the time I didn't know what the fuck I wanted.
Yeah.
Because we had just discovered this. I really wish I had pictures, because I used to have like this Canon PowerShot camera, but since then I like long had lost this camera. But I really wish I had the pictures from there, because I had like dope pictures from like a deployment, because we were out to sea for like 9 months.
Damn, and you lost all of it?
Yeah, it's been like probably 5 years since I lost all this shit.
Shit.
That's been gone, but I had like dope pictures from Portugal. Portugal was dope. It had like a lot of street art. It was almost like SF in a way, very like city. Like I just love the vibes and like architecture. It had old architecture too, so that one was cool because you would see like fucking like stencils, like dope, like giant like 8-foot stencils of like I don't know, like crazy looking portraits and stuff.
Yeah,
it was like amazing art, but it was on old architecture. And I was just so like turned on by that.
Contrast.
For real, dude. We should also talk about how like you took on your dad's name, basically the family name, right? Because isn't your actual first name, right?
Yeah. There's a lot to that one too, because no one in the military you go by your last name, right? And no one can ever fucking pronounce my last name. And even though it's really not that hard, if you look at it phonetically, it's Casa Sola, which actually means home alone in Spanish.
Whoa.
Oh.
So think of casa, you know, like house.
Yeah.
Sola, which is the solo, but
solo, singular,
feminine. Yeah, singular. Yeah, solo. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, that like my Spanish homies would always break these down to me and shit. And but I actually never knew another Filipino with that except for my family. But then everyone would call me Cass because it was easier to say than Casa Sola. So Cass. Hey, Cass, go do this. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I just like ran with it. I thought it sounded cool because it was almost like Nas, you know, like Nas has that bell. Because like when you hear Nas, it's like, ooh, Nas.
Kaz.
Nas the rapper. But
Kaz is
Kaz it just seemed easier to stay. And I feel like it's crazy because I think at that point I became a different person also, because I chose to take on personalities of my dad because I don't know, it was weird. Like I was with him when he passed away, and there's like this weird feeling in me that like some of that like went into me, obviously, you know. So I don't know, it's just my dad was always like a jokester and shit, so I felt like I needed to be like a little bit like I needed to open up to the world. I needed to like stop being so quiet and just like talk and shit, like because I mean I don't know, I just felt shy and shit for some reason. I'm still quiet, but I felt like I can express myself a little bit more now, which I wanted to take up.
Nice.
Yeah. Here's a shitty picture I took of the of when I was in the snow this last winter.
A postcard photo.
Yeah, you can see the snow on the windshield.
Aesthetic.
This is where I'm from. I grew up in Reno, which I have no regrets too. It's like there's this thing called the biggest little city in the world, which is like, it's true in a way because you know, we have like a small population, but we live like we're like from fucking Vegas and shit.
Yeah. Reno, I have a lot of childhood memories of. I was always confusing it with Vegas growing up, but like it had a similar feel, and that's why I felt like I was so confused. Like going through Reno, like that main building where everyone goes into. I can't remember the name of it, but there's like Circus. Like some of the buildings are like, it just feels like everything's like connected, you know. You're walking on like overpasses over like streets. You're
in downtown for sure.
You're going down under, and then like you turn to the corner and there's another stairwell going down, or escalator
to another
going
casino.
down. And I was just like, whoa, like what is this?
I spent a lot of time there, and my I mean, there's probably one thing that I regret. When I was like 20, when I got out of the military, I moved from Norfolk back to Reno, back home for a while. My actual original plan was to move out with my girlfriend at the time to San Francisco. But it was crazy because she said San Francisco was too conservative. I mean, not conservative, liberal. She said it was too liberal.
Okay.
And I was like, I wasn't sure what she meant by that. I was like, what do you mean too liberal? You're a punk. Like, she was like a punk rock chick. She was white. She was like one of the like only white chicks that I ever dated. And but she was from Pennsylvania, and it was crazy. Like her family's pretty conservative, but they're open too. But they're probably like the type of people that would be like Trump supporters almost.
Oh shit.
So she bailed on me on that. We ended up just breaking up because I was in Reno, she was back in the East Coast. And so I was like, you know, at this point I'm kind of lost. Like I'm out of the military. I'm like trying to figure out what I want to do. And so I'm like, I'm not really sure. Like at this point, I'm not even doing like video. Like at this point, I wish I had a camera. Like that was like one of the things I always wanted. You know, like a DSLR. At the time, there was like the Canon Rebels. You know, when they first came out.
Yep.
Like when they were first started digital DSLRs. This is like, yeah, this is about that time.
Damn.
Shit, dude.
Shit.
Well, it sounds
Fuck
like you
off.
dodged a bullet with her, you know?
Yeah. And so I ended up
Who knows what
actually
would
getting
happen.
into music.
Oh
Nice.
shit.
I think a lot of the
Like
graphics that I
cows
used
at the
to,
bars.
a lot of the graphics that I used to make were for like cover arts and stuff like that. Just trying to promote my shit like a SoundCloud rapper, or at this time I'm a Tumblr rapper. Like real shit, I'm a.
You so
Yo, Kaz got bars though, man. Like, you can rap for sure. He's got some good flow.
do you have any of your work online, Kaz, of your flows that maybe we could link to our chat?
If you go to Speakproper on SoundCloud,
Uh-huh.
it's like towards the later half of my tracks.
Uh-huh.
Like my earlier, I mean the earlier portion of my tracks. So
Gotcha.
it's like if you go down towards like the stuff from like, damn, it's been like 5-6 years now. And it's a trip because I mean I still remember these days like vividly, because this I don't like to like promote that I was ever a rap, but I always loved making music for the outlet of it, you know. Because yeah, sometimes like creating images is really fun, but sometimes words is a different kind of feeling and an
You
image.
have to use your voice sometimes.
And use your voice or sounds that you would kind of like manipulate and kind of get out your own feeling if you can.
Some beatboxing.
Yeah. And you know, I got on like an NPC. I actually got an NPC from my homie. He gave it to me.
Wow.
Forget it. And like, I basically just tattooed Outcast, the Outcast logo on him.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit.
It was like a fucking good ass trade. I was like, I get to tattoo the Outcast logo on you and I get an NPC. Shout outs to Conquest. He was this rapper from Sacramento. I wish I had a picture of him too, because he's so mysterious. But yeah, he gave me that NPC. And yeah, I don't know, like some of these pictures are kind of pixelated, sorry, because I have to get them from like MySpace and fucking
Hey, all good,
Yeah.
man. Treasure them.
yeah. And so yeah, well, while I was in Reno, I was performing shows with this group called Wordplay, and we did a few shows where we had like fucking like 1,200 people.
Wow.
Damn.
I mean, the whole city came out. It was just like a movement where like the whole city was. There was this promotion company that was really promoting local artists. They were doing it right, you know. They were. I mean, granted, this was a free show, but like, it was crazy. I don't know if you can see those stickers, but like, we had the homie like, he rained down these stickers that were ours, and I just remember this memory vividly. There was all these like stickers just raining, and we were like performing and shit. It was probably one of like the best moments of my life.
Dang.
Wow.
Epic.
And so, because I remember like looking, I don't know if you ever heard of the Knitting Factory. It's a venue. It's kind of similar to like one of those kind of like franchise venues, like House of Blues almost.
Okay.
So they have a few knitting factories around, like all over the country actually. And so this is like the Reno fucking knitting factory. Yeah, that was like probably one of the best times.
Wow.
And so for like kind of bringing me back to graphics, I used to throw a lot of like b-boy jams, and I would just make the flyers myself.
What?
And before I used to be like in the scene too, like b-boying, and so this is me hitting my like patented move that I always fucking do. I love this one too because you could see like well, he's kind of cropped out right now, but like one of my homies like reactions and shit. But yeah, like b-boying was actually kind of big in my life too. Dance. It let me be connected with some of the younger cats that were like maybe 5 years younger than me. And so I used to be like the head of this crew called Miscreants.
What?
And yeah, we were just fucking miscreants, you know, like like a lot of times we just spend our time like, you know, like at the park, just be like dancing or something, you know, like just chilling, you know. We're at this time I'm 21, I'm like the OG, you know, like I'm out like all night and fucking doing shit. But yeah, I mean, this is a fun time because Reno, it's kind of easy to take control of your scene, you know. It's like very small, So and it's easy to talk to venues because they're very more local oriented. So it's like we were able to always get like Seven's Tea House is this place that we used to throw a lot of shows, and a lot of our b-boy jams too.
Wow.
That was a tea house, huh?
Yeah, it's a tea. Well, because they used to mix these alcoholic like tea drinks.
Oh.
Like Tokyo teas and fucking, you know, like Long Island iced teas, all that shit you drink when you're 21.
Yeah. Damn.
You know, them like drinks that give you headaches, like because there's so much sugar in them and stuff. You know.
For sure.
With alcohol.
How did you I'm noticing that you're kind of like it's almost like there is this over sense of like kind of like adjusting, you know, like you're kind of diving into like different things at different times. Like how did you kind of like dive, kind of like how'd you get into these, you know, like music's one thing, it's one thing to just enjoy music or listen to music and be a fan of music, but it's a different thing to, you know, perform music. Dancing, it's like you know, like at that time, like it was huge. A lot of people were dancing also, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just watching dance and being a fan of dance is like really different from, you know, actually like practicing.
Participating.
Yeah. So these like sections, like how were you kind of getting yourself into it to feel like this is something like I definitely want to do at that time?
I think it all stems back, you know, from the love of music. Like we all love music, but sometimes like I think I love music enough to where I wanted to participate in it, you know? It was that inspiring to me. First when it came to like words, because I mean I think I was always more word oriented. Like before I could actually like make a beat, the only thing I could do was rap or like write poems. It first started with poems. I have some really cringe. Do you guys know what SoundClick.com is?
SoundClick?
Yeah. It was the SoundCloud from back in, it was like almost like the SoundCloud from back in the day, and you could upload your own tracks. I found like actually a few artists that I don't know if you guys heard of Jeremy Passion.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean
during the YouTube era.
This is pre-YouTube, so like this is where this is how old this is like really showing my age, but like yeah, it's like you would just upload your tracks, and then I'd have some really cringy shit on there, like poems that were like I would say they're like instrumentals. They're not even like rapping or anything. I'm just saying like poems, like spoken word almost. And it's very like emo and it's very cringy. I'm definitely not showing it.
Fair game.
But it's like, yeah, that's kind of the very first like I posted them all on like MySpace and shit because I thought it was cool. I was like very emo boy back then too, and yeah, and so that for at least like music, that's kind of where it stemmed from. And then like getting into rapping naturally from poetry, and then from rapping out of necessity I had to make my own beats because like you know, I didn't know any producers. It was actually harder to get beats back then. Like you had to actually pay for them, and producers were charging, so I was like, damn, I just had to get my own shit.
Facts, man.
And so that's like it's kind of like how we also do our own graphics too, you know,
DIY,
like,
you know.
Yeah, sometimes like we have to just do it ourselves because we can't afford to pay other people, and we also have the vision for what we want to do. So a lot of us start, like I'm sure all you guys too, like started from just fuck it, I'll just do it myself, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
From that mentality. So that was kind of this also. And for dancing specifically, you know, it was like I mean, I think I was more of a lively body back then, so I was just like dancing and shit. And b-boying was always something that I really looked up to because I was very hip hop oriented, like five elements, you know. You know, there's DJing, rapping, graffiti, breaking, and you know, they say the last one's knowledge. And so breaking, so for me it was important for me to participate like almost fully. You know, the movement, breaking is the movement of hip hop. And so I really wanted, I took like, you know, I would take like classes, and a lot of my homies from Virginia were into it. They're actually from, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Mighty Zulu Nation.
I have not.
Zulu Nation.
Yeah.
Is that part?
It's almost like I don't want to say cult, but it's like a yeah, it's Zulu Nation. It's basically you have membership in it.
It's like Mos Def, Erykah Badu would be part of Zulu Nation, right?
Most
like,
definitely. I mean, this is Africana Bambaataa.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, just like a lot of my homies were in. They knew hip hop like on a spiritual level. You know, because I mean, a lot of them were, you know, they're all black. Shout out to, you know, all the African American artists out there. You know, you know, we're all like, a lot of us, especially American culture, is very inspired by them. I mean, hip hop is also definitely Latino influence, and also like with the movement of it, it's also very Asian influence, you know, because we definitely threw some moves in there, you know.
Definitely.
And a lot of the breakers right now are the high level elite breakers are all Asian. So I mean, not all of them, but the vast, like a lot of them are, you know. And hip hop is a culture that we all take and elevate, you know. Take something and make it our own, and then we elevate it, and it just keeps going until
you sample it and you make it more dope.
Yeah, and it's just crazy what the young cats are doing nowadays too.
For sure, man. When did you come up with the name Speakproper?
Oh, so that goes back to social media, and it's funny because I don't know how it stayed relevant to me. I don't even know if it's relevant still, but I think it is. I can always spin ways to make it relevant for me. But I've had it since it's been the longest screen name that I've ever had. You know, since AIM. And when I say screen name, I'm talking about SN.
Damn. It's been like that, huh? Shit.
Like, what's your SN?
Is that's in context or AIM, right?
Yeah, AIM.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how long I've had it.
Gotcha.
Like, I've had it for maybe almost 10 years now.
AIM?
Which is, not AIM, but
Speakproper.
Yeah, Speakproper as like as a username almost, you know.
Gotcha.
I don't know if it's just easier to keep it. It's a lot of things. It's just like, for me, it's since I was always into poetry and rapping and kind of spinning words to feel, because people always say like the phrase "speak proper" is not even like grammatically correct, but it's not about grammar for this like for this phrase. It's all about like kind of just being honest and speaking your truths proper, or speaking, I don't know if it makes sense, but like just, you know, coming correct, or speaking your truth, you know.
That makes a lot
I mean,
of
that's
sense.
just, it's hard to, I mean, I don't know if it comes out like that, but it's just how I felt about it. And I was also kind of jabs at like because at the time when I thought of it, I was in Virginia, and I was experiencing a lot of different like dialects when it came to East Coast dialect, Southern dialect, West Coast. I was from the West Coast, so everybody knew I was from the West Coast. I wasn't even from California, but everybody thought I was from California. Like, oh, you from Cali, right?
If you say West Coast,
I can just tell by the way you talk. I'm like, word? And I'm just like, they didn't quite say I speak proper, but they said I had a way of speaking. I mean, like when we're from California, we don't really, I mean, we know the words we say, but it's just like people from the South. They talk a certain way, they don't notice it, and then they hear us talking, like, what the fuck did you say? You know, and it's just,
you know what I mean? You know,
I think it's just like, it's just kind of like a play on language too, you know, because in that time in the military, I got to learn about different walks, and it's kind of important to know that too, because, you know, there's another world out there besides you know. You gotta open your eyes to that. So
what image are we looking at over here?
So this kind of transitions to my next portion of like where my life in Reno went. This is one of my like OGs that I consider like there's a few people that I consider my OGs and my senseis, you know, because throughout my life I've always like met people that were like teachers and shit, and you know, this guy basically taught me how to tattoo. And for when I moved back, that's what I basically had made my living was tattooing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was a full-time Well, I was an apprentice. And so when you're an apprentice, you live a certain lifestyle. You work for free. You clean toilets. You mop floors. You clean up. You disinfect tubes and like all this crazy shit.
You wipe down the dust. You
sweep
wipe
up
the shop.
Wipe down the blood.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? This guy tattooed Colin Kaepernick.
Oh,
and,
word.
What?
This Colin Kaepernick was actually he was going to UNR in Reno, and I would see this guy probably every 2 weeks, and I had like no idea who the fuck this dude was. I was just like, this dude's kind of tall, and pretty like athletic. Yeah, he's pretty athletic. And then I realized he was the quarterback for our college football team. I was like, okay, that's tight. I didn't really think much of it though. You know, he was just he was a nice dude. He wasn't like a jock or anything like that. He was just very like, you know, polite, sat in the chair, never really complained, never really said much too.
Another quiet one.
Yeah, he's another quiet one. Never really like I actually never really hear his voice too. He would just sit and very quiet and just get his tattoos.
Wow.
And I would never like think like years later fucking Colin Kaepernick, you know. And even as a pro, you know, like his image today is crazy, you know. He's like a national topic and shit.
Yeah.
So I never would have at that time I never would have thought, you know. Yeah, so this is me tattooing Esta.
Nice.
Oh damn.
This is actually a later photo, but because this is at my apartment later, but yeah, this is.
Damn, look at that hair.
I had some wild hair. I gotta thank a lot of the homies for letting me use their canvas, their skin.
What attracted you to tattoo art?
I think overall the lifestyle a tattoo artist lived was really attractive to me because of their flow of life is different from a normal person.
What's their flow of life like?
I was like I was first kind of exposed to that when I first got my tattoo in Italy. And you know, like when I went to the shop, the people that worked there weren't even Italian. One dude was like from Spain, and I think the other guy was like Brazilian. And it was just like they were just working in Italy.
Wow.
And the whole time the guy couldn't speak English, so the guy had to like the front desk guy had to like translate or kind of like speak, you know, relay messages and shit.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was just you know, it was just kind of like the worldly culture. And you know, I got to kick it with them at the bar. We had fucking no like idea what like we were saying, but we were just like kicking it. After I got my tattoo. I thought it was just really rad. I don't know. It was just like...
Yeah, how'd you feel, man? You got your first tattoo. You're not in, you know, the country. You're in a different country.
I had some It was a different kind of endorphin. And so this kind of started my craze for getting tattoos. Like,
how'd you describe that endorphin? What was going through your head?
I felt like I was really living or traveling, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like it's cool to... Like, I just really felt like, damn, like, this is what I set out to do since I was, like, young, when I was, like, in my hometown. I was a kid. Like, I just always wanted to travel the world, and I feel like what else better souvenir than a tattoo?
Yeah. Probably felt like a mission accomplished moment, right? Like, yes, I got that shit.
Yeah, for me, my tattoos, I'm like, they're more like merit badges for me, like for traveling. Because I don't need to get like a whole full fleshed out piece for like because some people have like one artist, which I really respect, and they just get all their work. It's they're pretty much a canvas, right? For me, it's like more of like a Medal of Honor or a patch, Boy Scout fucking, you know, patch of like where I've set foot in my life, you know. Nice. Because I like the patchier look, so it's like you know, you just get them as you go.
It doesn't have to be like a giant piece, because that would require a lot more of a, I guess, kind of like mental investment. Who am I to say? I don't have any tattoos yet, but I always knew that if I were to get one, it would be kind of like just like nothing that's gonna take up a big real estate at first, because I feel like that'd be like a different kind of like
it's commitment.
It's
for sure a commitment, you know. It's like, and that's why I always like, for me, my style as a tattoo artist kind of reflects that too, because I like to do bangers. That's what I call them. They're tattoos that you can get like within an hour or two. You don't have to sit for like 4 or 5 hours, you know. Those, because you always hear about like those times when people have like a crazy session. I'm sure your homies have told you, like, yeah, I just sat in this chair for like 8 hours, bro. I'm like, cool. We banged this out in 9 and in like an hour, and we had a good time. Fuck it. You know, that's kind of like my mentality for it, because that, yeah, like I want to be the tattoo artist that you could travel with too, and then like, since we had this memory, we can take this object or something, the symbol of what we did, tattoo that, and then you can look at this piece, even if it's a simple like mark, and you can be like, yeah, that's that memory.
It's like physically a part of you forever.
Wow.
Exactly, and that's what I love about tattooing at this point now, because I mean I went through the motions where I'm an artist and stuff like that, which I fully I am an artist, but like I'm seeing what my lane should be, and I feel like it's more of a connection thing. It's hard to compete with a lot of artists anyways because they have such amazing art. But I feel like it's becoming clear to me that my art is more like a connection with like my clients.
Yeah, I love it.
It doesn't have to be like the craziest like image, like the most epic shit, the most detail. It just has to feel right, And if it has a story, then that's even greater.
Nice.
So this is a picture with that fucking Esta's old watermark. This is super old school. He'd probably hate me for showing this.
So this is now in San Diego, right?
Yeah, this is in San Diego. So after I apprenticed for a while, I was basically working there for 3 years. I mean, eventually I got to get paid because I was able to do tattoos, right? But I was still kind of like the scrub. I would always like get into it with the other artists because I felt like I just had better style than them when it came to some people are really good technically, but some people just don't have style. When it comes to, and I think tattoo is almost like fashion in a sense where you can tattoo like the most like detailed looking thing, the most realistic, but does it have a style, or does it have like character, or like same thing with clothes, you can wear like stuff that's very flashy, but are you killing it though?
Yeah, like does it speak to your personality? Are you wearing the piece or is the piece wearing you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that just goes back to that. What were you? I just totally forgot what I was talking about.
Who's in the shot?
That's me, and that's me drawing.
Are you shirtless?
Yeah.
You have a tattoo in your back?
That's my back. It's a big ass ship.
What is that?
A big ass pirate ship.
Oh, fuck.
Because that goes back to my Navy shit. That's why I got it.
Okay.
Well, Kaz, I was gonna say we were talking about San Diego moving down.
Oh yeah, I basically told my OG Ness, I gotta kind of move on and do my own thing now. And I was super grateful because basically he just taught me how to eat. Like this is something I can do anywhere now. Like right now, since I'm like full-time freelance, a lot of my majority is going into tattoos too, or not going into them, but that's how I get them. And so it's basically taught me how to have a business too. So I moved to San Diego off the whim with my homie Gino. And at the same time, I'm still doing music. All this stuff's kind of happening at the same time.
It all ties together though.
Yeah, they're all my outlets. Like music is always it's always been more of a passion thing. Because I never wanted to bring it there where it was like, because I had people that were next to me like Esta, like he was there, like he was that's what he was trying to do. And almost like I already had my thing, so I almost respect. I just wanted to keep that there,
Yeah.
And I couldn't commit like Esta to it, like how he does his. I really respect him because that's all he does. Like he does what he does is that's all he does. He's not like me where like I'm like dabbling with mad things. And so
I always
have
like that dude was like pretty broke. I remember Drew told me like they would go to McDonald's and get in line, and Drew would be like, "Yo, you want me to get this?" He'd be like, "Yeah, could you?"
But yeah, there's like a ton of stories. They're all from like this era of like we had this place called the HQ, which a lot of places are the HQ, but I don't know. Some people say VJ said we were like notorious, which I don't even think we're that cool. But we would throw the parties, and also we weren't like jerks either. I felt like we were like nice cats because at this point we're not canceled, like some place, like some people and shit.
Right.
Like eventually you find out how like slobby people are and like how dickheaded, But I really loved that because we had a community going on.
Nice.
I wonder if I had other pictures, but. I wish I put more pictures from the era, but it was basically
everyone this was forever, huh?
Yeah.
I like the title.
This is tattooing.
I have a lot of respect for people who have discovered that one thing they want to do, like pretty early on. because I feel like they got that time, you know, because I think for I see some of me and you where we dabbled in a lot of different things. We tried out a lot of different things, mainly because one, we were curious, and B, we thought we were pretty good at it. But over time, you kind of realize that you keep switching, and then eventually you start like slowing down on like specific things because you slowly started finding that thing.
Like I'll do a video game analogy. You know how like you have skill points?
Yeah.
Well, some people can mine their skill points to like really like hit, their
like max out.
their max out their skill, right?
Yeah.
But when you're doing like when you're hitting here, you're only kind of really gradually growing like a fourth of everything, while someone else has like a whole bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the same time, which I guess is a path that I chose too, which I'll commit to it. But it's not like I'm over. Like I'm out doing like other shit like real estate or something, So I don't think I'm like over. I feel like I'm not overextending, because my goal is to like combine everything that I do and make it like almost like a brand that no one can find that anywhere else.
Dude. Exactly.
So I think I'll move on to this one. It's just like kind of my earlier works. These are my like working at the tattoo shop like 2011. This one's like 2010, the first one.
Things are sick, dude.
Yeah, it's very tattoo style, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I used to have like, my thing was roses at the time. Because I mean, the roses is like, it's like a universal thing,
Yeah.
A lot of people can relate to them. Sometimes it's cliche, but sometimes like you won't regret a rose, There's other things that you don't want to push it too far, because you might like you might be somebody different later on in life. But certain things are kind of universal. Traditional roses is kind of like the most like American icon or motif, right? Like when you think of Americana, because that's where a lot of like what you call it, a lot of tattoo designs come from. Americana. At least for me, that's what I gravitated towards. A lot of my homies say they didn't really like traditional like tattoos because they thought they looked kind of ugly. But I mean, there's a lot of different ways that they do them now. So there's a lot of ways to finesse them. So
yeah,
tattooing showed me a lot of different styles of line work and art. So
yeah,
I think that's why I'm also very
like shading and
shading
like
especially.
Yeah.
And a lot of shading and sometimes lack of shading. Like if you want to just keep it simple, bare bones. Because sometimes in tattoo you just want to keep it like simple as fuck. Like you don't want to add too many bells and whistles to it, because it's just gonna take away from it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difficult part about it is like you got to figure out where that middle ground is of like when not to do too much and or when to just go crazy with it, So that's the challenge sometimes,
Yeah, no, those are dope, man. Dang.
And so, I mean, going back to the homies, like I really credit my homies for sticking now with me, because I mean, who was I practicing on? My fucking homies, And so they let me. A lot of my homies got this phrase on them called "thicker than blood," which is kind of like I don't know if it's self-explanatory, but it's just like, yeah, sometimes like your homies are actually closer to you than your actual blood. Sometimes you're thicker with your homies than your actual family. So I think with our case, a lot of us have gone on to do like have our own lives and stuff, but at the same time we had that like that loyalty and almost like brotherhood, sisterhood with each other.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I used to like, I don't want to say a prayer, but it was just like every time I did this on somebody, it was almost like a ritual, right? Where it was like kind of like a blessing onto you. I mean, we watched too much like Blood In, Blood Out. Have you ever seen that movie?
I haven't. What is it?
It's a LA gangster movie.
Okay.
And there was like a tattoo artist in there. He was like one of the characters, and he was the one that always like tattooed like the gang members and stuff. Right? So that's kind of that feeling too. But yeah, it was almost like being in a group, being in a community, or being in a gang.
Having a bond.
Yeah. This is my knuckles. I got Sail Away tattooed on me.
Got it.
Nice.
Which is kind of going back to the
Navy.
the Navy and like, you know, the whole exploration, you know,
For
sometimes
sure.
you just got to sail away. You know, the way I felt at the time, I was like in Reno for 18 years of my life, and I needed to like go somewhere, you know, I needed to sail away for a while. And kind of like the theme of my whole life has kind of been like that for a while. You know, like it's almost like every 4 years I end up going somewhere new, but
It's really interesting because like it seems almost like you're kind of drifting like along like different like parts throughout your life, and it's contrasting with, I guess, like your sign as a Taurus. You know, you, as you were mentioning,
stay put.
you kind of usually stay put. So it sounded kind of like from an early age you've kind of like noticed that like being in your own comfort might have like not brought you the opportunities or the level of like expression that you wanted to do. And then like seeing these recurring messages, and then especially tattooing on yourself, like I can only imagine the sensation it really brings you, like specifically to the present, and also like that memory, you know, like because sometimes for me I feel like I'm always just like in the air, you know, just like floating through life, but then like to have something that permanent really kind of like sets the tone for like that happened at that point in my life, or like you said, you know, that was kind of like a merit or an experience
merit
that
badge,
happened. Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that, because it was almost like my way of kicking myself off the plank of a lifestyle, because when I got my throat tattooed, that's when it was real. Like that's when I was like, motherfucker, you're a crazy guy now. And you're not gonna be like, at the time I thought I wouldn't be able to get another like a regular job, right? But that's kind of exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to live a regular job, you know. Which
You
later on
wanted to
I'll
cut yourself off from that.
I wanted to permanently.
almost. Yeah.
Which, interesting enough, I'll talk about this later. I actually did end up living a normal life and fucking hating myself for it. but I'll talk about that later and when it comes. But
sure.
like I wanted to kick myself off the plank and just jump into a lifestyle and, you know, be my own person. Like my dad always.
When you tattoo your hand, like that makes you like almost
disqualified,
unhireable
right?
for a lot of companies.
Which, you know what's crazy? I'm actually realizing that's like it's because I mean, it depends where you're at. Yeah, we're in
More
California.
conservative types, I guess.
Yeah, we're in California, so we have a lot of like
Leeway.
leeway, because people are more open-minded, right? Like we have cool businesses and brands that you know,
You're not the only one that has a tattoo on their hand.
exactly. I started noticing that later on in like the 2000s, like cause I actually knew a good friend. He was a nurse who had pretty much the same like coverage as I do. I'm like, how you a nurse, bro? Like you pretty much look like me. And I was like, dude, if you do, he just said like, yo, if you do your job well, doesn't matter. And I was like, I love that. Yeah, I love that. I mean, that's kind of also why I want to be. If I wanted to work a normal job, I could, and it wouldn't matter because I have a lot of tattoos, because like I'm just that good. You know.
Yeah.
That was my goal, at least. You know.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what I look like.
Yeah, I hope this kind of becomes a mentality for like the new wave, you know, the new generation, where it's not like you're not always like judged, you know, for like from your employer based off of how you look, but actually how you perform.
You know, one day we'll be the old ones looking at our resumes. And so
we'll be the ones in charge of
that. We'll see what the world's like at this point.
You don't have any tattoos. We're not gonna hire you because of that.
So you say you only have 2 tattoos? All right, disqualified.
Then I'm immediately disqualified.
We have a minimum of 18 tattoos. It's like, oh shit.
No.
I would be down to get some outline tattoos.
Oh yeah. At the same time, I really respect people that don't get tattooed too, because I feel like some people like kind of rush into tattoos also like too quickly, especially these rappers too, because they just want to get like covered like all the way, like right away.
Yeah.
Like they just want to get coverage as fast as they can, and they just get like pointless, meaningless stuff that like probably not gonna mean shit, you know. And it's just like, I'm all about taking your time with it. Like I will never rush like a client into like getting something that, you know, they're on the fence about. I'm really like, yo, I'm all about waiting and shit, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm all about like you said, adjusting like should we think about this a certain way? Because sometimes people overthink their tattoos too. They want to like literally they're too literal with it. Like they want to get like a flower for every one of their family with their name on there, and it's just like, dude, this is too much. Like we need one symbol for your family, and just think of that.
Because you're not gonna want to look at all that shit later. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like design when you design something too. Like if you design like, I don't know, anything like any kind of graphic, you can definitely do too much and shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just not the right time, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I would have had a tattoo by now on my left arm if I didn't get stung by that jellyfish in Thailand.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I had like a whole henna shit like on, and I was like looking at it for 4 days. I was like, yeah,
You're
I
committed
want
to it.
this. You know,
Yeah.
I'll make this permanent. As soon as I made that decision in my head, like the
You got
universe
stung
was
by a
like, no,
jellyfish.
man. Jellyfish is like, nope, you're not getting it.
You know, I
was
think you
like,
should
"Oh,
do
shit."
is still get that that emblem, but you should also get a jellyfish,
Oh,
like on the, with the.
damn. That'd be kind of crazy, dude. Although,
Well, see, that's what, like I think that's what's fun about tattoos too, is because you can throw like a weird concept at somebody, and sometimes it'll hit different with them. Or like, what the fuck, I should, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like probably what
you're the
one of the
professional.
fun parts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These are sick,
that's
dude.
what,
yeah.
and that's like our job to like to find that from you. You know, or at least that's what I want to do. You know, I want to pull that feeling out of you, and also get you the best image possible that we can, you know, use it for a tattoo. Because a tattoo doesn't have to be large; it just has to be like, you know, it has to just have that essence, I guess.
Yeah.
Just enough, like you were mentioning.
Yeah.
Feeling is like really important. Yeah.
So here's some of my works from over the years. I mean, they're all kind of random. I know. I mean, a lot of these are very Asian influenced. My style that I really want to kind of focus on is Asian American traditional, which is like my take on it. There's American traditional, which is, you know, a lot of like the war themes and a lot of different like American flags and stuff like that, which I love, like the style, but I wasn't really like connected to the subject matter, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm
That makes a lot of
American,
sense.
but I'm also like, I'm Asian too. But also on the other spectrum, some stuff was too Asian for me. You know, like it doesn't really
finding
connect.
the right balance for it, right?
And that's kind of a new thing, because it's like, as Asian Americans, we're already confused as shit. You know, because we have the counter cultures that are both of our cultures have, American and our Asian cultures.
Yeah.
So we're constantly like fighting with that, and that's like how you were saying, like I'm like a tourist, but also like traveling and shit.
Yeah.
Or like and moving around and stuff. So it's kind of like contradictory.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with like Asian American. Being Asian American is like a lot of the stuff that we get taught in our homes is contradictory to what our
The society
friends,
that we live in.
what our friends' parents teach them and shit. And it's like, it's just hella confusing and shit, you know. But I mean, over the years, I mean, I think we're building our culture, because it's like it's just over time our culture just becomes what we've been doing and shit, you know.
Yeah.
To keep sanity or to express ourselves.
Yeah.
So our Asian, you know, I think a lot of Asian American shit is kind of taking stuff that we like and putting into a blender, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to do with our shit.
Nice. Yeah, I'm seeing it, man. It's definitely like a lot of influences, and we're kind of like interpreting it our own. There's kind of like no one specific direction that like the modern artist will kind of like go through, unless that's your intention. You know, you kind of like, I do this specific style of art, but I could see the the style. I could see the influence also here in these tattoos from your prior works also. But it's like it expanded. I think like you're diving deeper into the style.
Yeah, I mean, I just really want to do it more now, you know. So like, I like for a while I felt like I fell off of tattooing, because like eventually like I joined damn, I don't know if this video is fucking gonna play.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh,
I put a video in here, but fuck. But it's really not that important. I just felt like I fell off tattooing for a while, because eventually I got like I was going to school at the same time, because I was getting paid, because once again I had the GI Bill.
Right.
So this brings me to motion graphics now,
Nice.
because that's how I got into video. Like I really cameras, even photographers. Even though I kind of like gravitated to video more, I had a respect for anybody with a camera. Like the only thing is I could never afford a camera, so I never really get to participate in like that lifestyle,
Right.
or like that medium or whatever.
Right.
Not until later when I got my money up. But like
This is expensive
Yeah.
hobby to start before you turn it into a career.
Yeah, I would always like respect like the so this is me in school. I'll talk about school. Yeah, I was going to school.
Should we save this for later or
Or what
'cause
time is it?
We're in our second hour right now.
Oh shit. Okay.
This is like more of a retrospective,
I lost track of time.
right?
Yeah.
So let's get into the motion graphic part, the process part of it.
Yeah, it's actually an appropriate timing since you're just talking about how at this point you're transitioning into motion graphic or motion.
So this is probably didn't prep for. So what should we do?
We will leave that up to you, man. I know there's like a lot of different routes for you to go. Which one? Like, what would you like to share?
Like, should we make something or should we just share something?
How about just given our time, if you want to share something that might be a little more easier to talk about,
Time
then-
efficient. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sorry, can we do a quick reset real fast?
How you do it?
So, Kaz, if you could come in and then come out the meeting and then come back in real quick.
Yeah, just real fast. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll come back in.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty fire.
Quick little
It's got a
intermission.
lot of work.
All right, and we're back now with a snack.
Cool. You good?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay. I hope I don't look sus eating a banana. But...
Nah, man. get your potassium game on, man.
Is he on the bottom now?
Yes. All right, Kaz, whenever you're ready.
Maybe since it's like the most recent and fairly like relevant, I'll talk about TSP, the speed project that I did.
Yeah,
Let me open Premiere right now.
sounds good.
Or actually, maybe I should do. I'll just do this.
You can do your show reel too, or you have another
Like open it up.
like a or like a favorite project of yours that you had.
I can do the
to-
show reel because it's like it's only like a minute and it'll be like a not too crazy project to open.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, because you know when projects get held big, it gets laggy and shit. So
Yeah, big facts, man.
that's
It's either
the only
that
thing
or like you can show, because we said motion graphic process, right? So it's either we can show the show reel and then maybe you can show us the animation that Dan has playing in one of the backgrounds, like
Oh, yeah, for sure.
the pink NPC one.
Mhm.
You can kind of see.
Yep. Is that a forklift?
Sorry. So-
Moving some pallets.
For real, man.
All right, let me open this up.
Okay.
Let me share the screen. I'm just waiting for it to open
Yeah.
up everything. Yeah, with motion graphics, I was very influenced by Adult Swim. Yeah, I had this conversation with Belinda a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Because like low in theory, you would see a lot of like fly low, like on the beats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like super cool at the time. Like, there was it was random as hell. Like you couldn't really like. I wish I had an example of like an old like Adult Swim bumper.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was like almost, I'm sure there was a method to the madness, but it was just a cool little break, and that's what I really like. I loved about like video and stuff, that it's like a small morsel.
Yeah.
That's like
it had like it felt like this intermission, but it was done so tastefully that it made you want to keep watching that intermission. And I think some of the magic was that it was so short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's like it's nice when you feel like a friend is talking to you through the screen a little bit, or like a quick little like visual bumper, you know.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like a person talking or anything. It could be like a meme kind of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like just text on screen.
Mm-hmm. With the right kind of music and right kind of background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part about motion graphics, because you know, at the same, like when you have something that has infinite possibilities, it becomes pretty confusing too.
Yeah.
So I think before I showed my reel, I'll show you like an old school motion graphic that I did for No Plans.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's what got me into you too. I remember.
Yeah, that's what I always remember. She always brings up. So I'll show this one.
Yes.
This is one that I did for a promo. I kind of wanted to go a different route, like a video game kind of mixed within like random background.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing this Final
Did
Fantasy
you
7.
share music when you hit share?
I think I gotta do it again.
Can you pause the Trap in Japan? Still playing.
Yeah. All right, Cass. The floor is yours.
Go for it.
Okay. Fuck, the Zoom meeting's always in the way.
Yeah. Fucking toolbar.
Hey, where the fuck? Sorry.
You good, man?
I just don't want to be like cussing and shit.
Oh, sorry. Also.
Alright. Let me know if you hear the music.
Yep.
Hello, this is operator 90209F with an IP relay call. I have a caller on the line who would like to leave you a message, and it reads as follows. Dude, bro, I got some beers tonight and they're totally cold and chill. Bro. Message sent. Thank you, goodbye.
Hang up, mommy, make it roll. Once you pop, lock it for me, girl, get low. If your mama gave it to you, baby girl, let it show. Once you pop, pop it for me, baby, we can roll. Oh,
I can drop it. I can drop it. I can drop it.
Yeah, so that's from No Plans SF.
Slick.
Nice.
Which is like a few years old now. I feel like I could probably kill that one now, but you know, so we're always looking at our old work, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure people can relate. When you look at your old work, you're kind of like, oh, I could have did this and this and this and this. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta just run with it and move on to the next shit. So
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? That was simple, clean, and you got the message across. You know? Like,
yeah, you know what's funny? It's like, you know, those projects where you just like open up Premiere or Photoshop and you're just like, I don't even know what's about to go down.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of them. Like I'm just gonna take some shit that was on like probably some like, we went to the aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where the jellyfish is from. So, and I was just like, yo, these aquarium shots are kind of cool.
That was dope.
Like, yeah.
I like the slow mo. It really kind of set like this kind of sexy tone.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then like the Final Fantasy kind of interface, but
Yeah, I noticed that too in the beginning.
and so yeah, I'll pull up a Premiere file of my demo reel,
Nice.
and so I can kind of talk about some other projects that I did too. Like I did one with Belinda. You saw that one when she did her Zen Rabbit
Yeah.
close up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even see those shots that you put in your show reel.
Honestly,
I want to see the
I
rest of it now. Shit.
I probably should just give you the raws for those ones.
Yeah, send me the raws. Let me play around with that shit, man.
Yeah.
Let
There's
me
a lot
go
of-
off of it.
There's actually a lot of footage. That's
Hell,
sometimes
yes.
when you take a lot of footage, the trickiest part is like, okay, which one should we pull? Because there's
Yeah,
so
that
much.
makes sense
There
for
was
this
literally
kind of
so much
video.
fire,
Yeah.
and I mean the whole
Literally.
fucking video is fire. But And so yeah, here. So this is, you know, like when you're an editor, you have to have a demo reel. I feel like, you know, it's like your portfolio, equivalent of like a graphic designer portfolio.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes like your employer's not gonna watch every video that you do, like separately. You know, so somebody's got to cook something up, make it kind of draw them into your work. And so this is my 2020 version.
Dang.
I don't know what's the playback on when it's like actually live on here. But you guys saw it. I don't want to replay it.
No, wait, just hold up. I want to see just if it does.
You want me to just try the playback?
Yeah.
Because the video that you played at first, like that actually looked hella smooth. Like that was like the smoothest video I'd seen, like through share screen.
Which one? That was through QuickTime though.
Yeah, but that was still a video though, right?
Yeah. So you want me to just try this one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
just
try it.
Just try it.
All right, let's see how. Actually, no, I shouldn't try to render right now. Fuck that.
No. Oh yeah, shit. You didn't have it. You don't have it rendered.
Yeah, it's been a while since I opened it, so it's not. I don't know. It's all red right now.
Yeah. All right. Never mind. Just break it down.
Let's
for
press
us.
our luck.
Or yeah, press your luck. It's working.
This is pretty good. For
It's a little laggy. It's a little laggy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit laggy, but
Now it's laggy. Can't even see
okay.
shit.
All right. Okay. Stop
Okay,
it.
we're good.
Stop it.
Do
We
you
can
think-
just break it down?
Do you think it's because the full, like you have it on the bottom right of like that
Oh.
window? It's like full quality. If you like,
You can do
lower
half on the.
It. Yeah,
Oh,
or
you
even
get full
a
quality.
fourth. Yeah. Okay. Sharpness only.
I need to see the sharpness now, but
Just break it down.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just compiling like
Yeah.
How do you start, Kaz? I know like for show reels, like it's something.
You have like a little intro, right? You had like the phone dialing into the song.
Yeah, but like, what was your kind of like?
for demo reels. For me, the way I approach them is I think of a word that I kind of want to use as a mantra for myself for my work. Like, you know, I don't know if anybody does this, but like for me this year I chose awaken because there was a lot of stuff that I felt like I was sleeping on, like I was like it's like, you know, I just was asleep on my, like when it came to like certain parts of my work life. Like, I was like a zombie somewhere and I just needed to like awaken again. Like when you're like a sleeping giant or something, you need to like get the fuck up, you know. And so that, like, at the beginning of the year when I was putting it together, I was like, okay, I like that, and let me try to set the tone for my demo reel like that, and just to kind of make it exciting too. So the very first shots in my reel are more like intro shots, you know, like they're all B-roll, and so it's like these are the kind of shots that you wouldn't really actually put in your reel sometimes because they're just kind of filler shots, you know.
Yeah,
they're more for these. I wanted to showcase my intro shots. You know, it's kind of the way to present your work too. So it's like, because you always need like those establishing shots.
Yeah.
So the first few shots are more like establishing shots to kind of, you know,
like,
this is a
set the scene, kind of, right?
yeah,
the
set
world.
scene, and it's kind of a set. It's kind of random because they're all like sequenced together. So they're all.
Get the tone of like it feels like you're opening up your eyes, right? As a running pattern in the beginning. Yeah,
so for the first few shots those were what I was going for.
I noticed.
Shout outs to Illuj.
Eileen and
Illuj and Eileen.
yeah.
And I noticed you, like, for some of the shots you had some like sound effects going too, and like I think that is done like really tastefully.
Yeah, so I mean, what I learned in when I was taking video effects class was adding more audio to your video will increase the production value of it if you can do it right. You know, the sound design, what you call it. So this is something I'm still trying to get better at. But yeah, like adding. So a lot of times when you watch movies and stuff, all that stuff's not actual like what they're doing. That's not the sounds. It's ADR. They're putting these sounds in to make it like feel like more high def or something, you know?
Yes, sir.
I think that's why I choose so many edits. Is they already sprinkled in all the effects for me, so I just like cut to it at the perfect times.
Music is the ultimate sound design, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why it's always so fun to. A lot of times, like we start with the music, you know, like if you can't. it's kind of weird to just like, I mean, some people like to chop up the good parts first, but I kind of like to know like what pace are we to go at, and usually the music will dictate that. It's like, it's better, you know, it's kind of easier to guide off of that. Like, okay, this music's going this speed, so I can just do my cuts like this or whatever.
That makes a lot of sense.
I like how you left certain gaps in between too, when it would just be silent and it would come back in. Because it's those little breaks, like those are beats too, you know.
Oh yeah, like like in music, syncopation. So even like an empty beat, a lot of times musicians are trying to take away something to kind of accentuate another thing. So yeah, that's what's crazy about making videos and producing. I feel like there's a lot of parallels to that because it's all a sequence.
Definitely.
And a story, you know, is a sequence, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's always, that's the challenges of finding a captivating sequence, you know.
Yeah.
And it can be simple or complicated, but it depends what the job calls for, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it should all like the clips that you use should kind of flow into each other, you know, like it shouldn't feel like, whoa, what did I just watch? It should feel like you're taking your viewer on a journey with you through the visuals and the sound effects that you choose.
Yeah, which is, you know, like I always say everything's a challenge, but yeah, because sometimes like we think about that and we know that, but it's like it takes time for it to work and sculpt it to where that we want it, you know.
Yeah.
Kaz, you mentioned earlier that you choose your music. You sometimes decide on your music first to set the tone. Okay, it's really interesting because like for my process, I usually have like one song looping throughout the entire duration of my editing process, but I keep changing songs to like look for the right mood, and then when I find that right mood, it's all I loop during that time. When you're doing when you're doing these videos, I was really interested in how music plays a part, because I know when you're editing videos, you can't necessarily have like music playing in the background. Yeah. So it sounds like your kind of like process was to choose the music first. Like this is going to be like the tone. And then you start adjusting.
If you ever sit with an editor, like a video editor, and you like listen to what the output is on what the sound is coming out, it's fucking annoying.
It is.
You just hear fragments of sounds, like half sentence, half words and stuff.
That's why the thumb's always on spacebar and like
seriously, all you hear is and it's like, I mean, it's pretty crazy. Like that's why we're always like in headphones and shit, or we're in like editing fucking like cave and shit.
We need to be by ourselves, honestly. Like, don't bother us while we're editing. You know?
Like,
we need to be in our zone. We need to be able to like play music, stop the music, play the video, pause the video, go back to the music, go back
watch
to
it
the
like
video.
3 more times.
It's not like the same thing as editing a photo. With photos, you don't need to be paying attention. There's no audio on it, you know. But with video, like you have to pause and go.
Yeah,
it's
that's why it's so time consuming.
Yeah,
exactly, dude. And you think like if you tell us to make a little change, like it fucks up the whole flow of everything else. Then we gotta rework around that, you know.
And that's what happened with this project I worked on recently. Like, you know, when you work with clients, they don't understand that, and so like they think it's a quick fix, right? Like just take out 2 seconds of this. How do you realize how we got there?
So how do you communicate that to a client if they like? For me, like I don't do videos, you know. Like I dabbled in it a little bit here and there, but then like if someone like for a client, you know, as a vendor, it's our job to like basically listen to what the client wants, right? How do you kind of like communicate from your end? I know you do this a lot professionally, Kaz, that all these adjustments, say for example, you're realizing it's going to create like more work for you.
Tons of work.
Yeah.
Redoing
Do you tell them like, hey, you know, like this is going to require a lot more time, which may increase my fee? Or do you kind of like advise them like, this might not be like the best decision to go into? Yeah. What's your process like for that when that conversation comes up of like making like these minute changes?
I mean, that's interesting to say. I mean, I just wanted to speak on like some realities that I've encountered like with my work, especially with videos. Like, I mean, I used to work under an in-house kind of like a company. Like I work in-house for a company. So that like my new changes didn't matter because I was gonna get paid regardless, right?
Right.
So I would just redo like I would have versions like up to like version fucking 60 type shit.
Damn.
So we're just changing this. Like I just basically say, okay, I'll change it, and then like some stuff that I've been running to as like a freelancer is like you know, like if you have so many edits, you're going off budget.
Yes.
But at the same time, you always gotta consider who you're working with too, because I mean sometimes you are really just doing it for the love, and you can't really. There's nothing really that you can do. You can't really charge them more because they just don't have it, you know. And you also want to. It's like this battle of like, oh, for me, I like to want to like be on a good graces with all my clients, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
My relationship to my clients is like super important to me. Like I don't want to, you know, sometimes it's almost at the cost of my own like sanity too. Because I mean I don't want to say I could break easy. It's just like I just want to deliver a good job for them, you know, and have them like get what they want too. And so sometimes I'll just stick it out, which I'm trying to learn how to like put my foot down better. And then when I do, I realize that I can actually spin it to where it makes sense for them, you know. I just never try. Sometimes I'm just too quick to be like, okay, I'll change it here, fuck it. But sometimes like, even with clients, we just got to break it down for them because they don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so like recently I had a video where I had to change a whole bunch of stuff because they thought it was like too long or something, like the certain shot was too long. But when I changed it to like a more like a sequence of more shots, they thought it was more choppy now, and then they understood why the pacing was why it was. You know, because sometimes like after a while where you're chopping up, there's all these shots coming in and out. You need a shot where it's gonna like hit like for maybe a few seconds longer than kind of refresh, you know, the palette change.
You can't have like 1 second clips all the way through.
Yeah, that's like so ADD.
Like, yeah, man. Yeah.
And some of the clients they just want to milk everything that you got, like all your footage. They want to get every possible shot in there, you know.
You have to let them know what you can deliver. You know, sometimes the client wants hello deliverables, and you're like, all right, like this is gonna.
That's
cost
not possible.
You.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, like
you gotta educate them, or they gotta pull out.
Or they have to minimalize it. Like that shit is necessary.
Yeah, I mean, for me, what I learned is just like it's like we're basically teaching our clients to like the expectations and shit. It's just sometimes they just don't know too. I mean, it's interesting being a freelancer. For sure.
No, it totally is, man. It's a lot of like how Vij said it. It's like they're kind of like relationships, you know, that you have with people that you have to like really kind of like water, educate, and kind of grow with, you know. Like as much as they're learning from you, like you're also learning how to work with them also. Yeah,
and it's just, I mean, it's a blessing to have a client that's willing to pay money for your creative work. That's one thing I never want to lose sight of, is just, you know, like at the end of the day, we all have gifts because we commit to this shit, you know. And it's nothing to be taken lightly, but also at the same time, it's like still a collaboration with what they're trying to do. So until we're just funding all our own shit, we can't really say that we have full direction, because sometimes, you know, they have their needs, so we have to figure out a way to execute that.
Right.
So it's just the reality of working with clients sometimes, you know. It's like you might not get something that you're completely like, oh, this is my shit. But at least it's another day to create, though, you know.
I feel that, man. Well said.
So yeah, I mean, this is a few projects. So basically from the, you know, the intro parts, I go into like more meaty parts where it's like the content, you know, or like going into the Bentley factory. Just kind of more lifestyle with I'm really trying to sprinkle parts of sports and athleticism into my work too. Because I feel like sometimes sports kind of gets this jockey theme too a lot of times, which I want to kind of steer it towards an artistic view too. And because sometimes like when you're out there and move, there's still creativity in a lot of stuff. It's just the way it's presented could be different, you know. So
No, that's a really good point, because I noticed with like as you were mentioning for like show reels being your portfolios, for portfolios, like when we do a lot of client work, sometimes it's not like necessarily matching our aesthetic, you know, but we need to demonstrate that we have the capabilities of doing it like that, you know, to increase our value.
That, and just even throwing your twist on it. If it's telling the same story, but you can package it like cooler, slicker. Or the execution could be, you know. Could be like your way, but it's, you know, it's still delivering what they want, but it's just like, you know, the only, like, you know, Steven Spielberg or you know why people get directors, you know. You know, they have a story they want to tell, but they don't know how they should present it, so they'll get Wes Anderson or some shit, you know,
right,
or something like that, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what's dope about being a creative. You can figure that out for yourself, what you can deliver to people, what you can give back to this world. I mean, if you're gonna just do it like everyone else, then why are you doing it, you know?
Facts.
Homegirl Jin.
Nice.
Just more, you know, it's just sprinkling like just random shit in there. More Belinda with the fuego.
I'm glad we did that shoot, dude.
Yeah, I was kind of scared at points.
It was kind of spooky, man. Yeah, because it was just us, and
I was afraid of like a bum rolling up on us for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, if they had, I would have hurt the fuck out of them.
So just for background too, so these are like little like underground like freeway. What are these exactly? Like bunkers?
These were World War II bunkers.
Yeah, like they're what area is this by?
This
Fort
by
Funston?
Fort Funston. Yeah. Off the coast.
I think some of them are actually closed off now. But when was the last time you went there? Because we were at Fort Funston, and then I noticed like, I don't know if it was the same one that we entered, but it was like all blocked out and shit.
Oh really?
Yeah.
The last time I was there it was like last year for a
drum circle
party.
or some shit.
Nah, it was like a Burning Man party, bro. Like they had set up like a little stage for like fire spinners. They had like a DJ booth going on. Somebody was selling tea and like snacks and shit. It was fun, but that was like the last time. That was like a late party. I think I left at like 4 a.m. or something.
No, these are sick. Kaz, how do you decide on which ones, like what scenes deserve like a sound effect happening rather than just keeping the music playing on top?
Yeah, so like, you know, like this one, obviously there's like the flame, so you need to like kind of accentuate that, right? I don't know if you can hear it. Let me see. So that's just like.
You have to set your audio preference. Your audio.
Oh, it's not coming from.
It's all right. You could
I'll just talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it's very laggy. I don't want to. It's not gonna. You're not gonna be able to see it anyways.
Yeah.
But here I put footsteps. You know, like a lot of the ADR guys, they deal with like doing footsteps and stuff. Because without the footsteps, it's kind of doesn't really feel like.
It's not as immersive, huh?
Yeah, because you want to create the atmosphere in the scene, right? Where do
you go to find your like special effects
audios?
Sounds? Yeah.
Well, a lot of times like I have like Splice. Splice has, but it's more like producer shit. But they have way more quality sounds.
Yes.
You could find someone like I have this thing called Envato Elements, which is like it's where I get on like my stock kind of shit, like resources, stock photo. I don't know, it's just stuff that I need for work and stuff. Like you can get, it's just like a subscription.
Nice.
I use it mainly for sound, like they have a library of stock sounds that you could find, like cars, room tones.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's sometimes kind of boring at times, but because you gotta. If you ever like been with a producer, most of the time when they're producing, they're just shuffling through sounds and shit.
Yeah.
So that's what like the process is like, just hearing mad sounds until you find the right one. And and YouTube and just recording your own too.
Oh, nice. Does your music production background ever come into play when you need to say, for example, like, oh, the the walking sound is too fast. You know, like do you?
Oh yeah,
adjust
definitely.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of adjustments on Ableton, but you can do it on Premiere too. But what I like about Ableton is you can snap to the BPM. So if you wanted to edit music, you can get closer to the actual. It's easier to get closer to the exact spot.
Gotcha.
Sometimes Premiere is kind of tricky to like get to, like if you need to zoom in all the way. Sometimes you can only zoom in so much and shit.
To match it up.
Yeah, to match it up.
That's interesting. So does that mean sometimes you would like work on
The track.
what was the software called again?
Ableton.
Does that sometimes mean like you sometimes like put a sound effect on top of the track with Ableton and then export it from there to then bring over?
I mean, it's not quite that complicated. So say if I'm like, if the video is like driven by music or something, I'll just do all like the music tracks, like I'll flow them together. I won't do the sound effects on there because then I'll do the sound effects like on the actual Premiere timeline because it's easier to match up because you can see it and shit. So like mainly for music, it helps flow everything easier.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of people like DJ on Ableton, so it's like there's a lot of stuff that you can do to help transition shit out. That's just, I don't know, it's just, I don't know if a lot of video producers do that, but I mean a lot of producers will like work on like Pro Tools for their sound design. So I don't think it's like it's just more tools for you. Because I mean don't get me wrong, Premiere has a lot of good stuff for like the audio stuff. It's not like it's a video program, so it's like their audio stuff's gonna be like kind of like second thoughts.
Gotcha.
So I mean, Ableton is like a fucking kick-ass program in general. So
yeah,
just more projects. I got to work with that actor from that played Storm in that one movie, Alexandra Shipp. Have you ever heard of her?
I have not.
She was in like one of the X-Men movies, but she was like in this music video that were just random, just met her. It was funny because like I didn't know like who she was when they pulled up to the shoot, because the shoot was super casual and shit. It wasn't like a real shoot really. Because I did this one for Ruby Ibarra, but and she was like an actor, and I didn't realize she played Aaliyah in the Aaliyah movie.
Oh shit.
What?
Which it wasn't really like it wasn't like super like notable or anything, but you know.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's like a random thing, but yeah, just more shots. I mean, the thing with the demo reel is kind of random. It's just everything that you worked on for the last couple of years. So you know, a shot of Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to work with Nike for a few projects because of one of my clients that I used to work with. He was a Nike master trainer, so he would like loop me into projects with him.
Oh wow.
Because he was able to do a lot because he had a videographer readily available. Like Nike didn't have to like send anybody for him or anything like that.
Yeah.
So whenever he had something like a project or something, like I was just there, you know.
Nice.
So.
Oh, question. Do you shoot in like that log format, or do you shoot
most
like
of the time
another way? Nah. When would you?
Well, see, recently when I shot with Nike, they had me dialing in everything. Like I shot in log format, made sure because sometimes when I'm shooting, I'm just very like on the moment. I don't want to like have a log set up because then it's just, like it's too much to deal with at this point, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're doing like I guess a production shoot, you would want to do log format just because you have the time. I mean, if you're having like a whole production, you have the time to like dial in your colors for your color design and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you want the project to be like high quality as you can and shit. But sometimes you don't want to be spending so much time color grading it if you already know the look that you want. You know. It just depends what you're doing.
I see.
But I never shoot in a slog.
Yeah.
I have friends that shoot only log. Yeah.
Nah, man, that shit is if you can find the right color profile for yourself and you know what temperatures you want to be shooting at, like you don't need a slog.
Yeah,
but
I think it just depends. Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes it. I think shooting an S-Log just gives you the opportunity to choose, like, the dynamic. You just let you choose wherever you what you want, like the look to dial it in, because you have so much dynamic range that it's just, it looks shitty when you first like look at it though, because it's so like flat and like the colors are like muted and stuff.
Right.
But it lets you slide it anywhere you want.
Yeah, I had a friend tell me that
it's really difficult though.
Yeah.
Like really, really difficult.
I had a friend tell me that it's in a loose way, almost like shooting like JPEG versus like RAW. Like RAW, sometimes the images aren't as crispy, but as JPEG, yeah. But it's also because JPEG has some compression on it that actually makes it appear more like sharper
and a little bit of processing.
Yeah. But I shoot RAW. Like dynamic range is important to me because I do.
That's for photos, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a loose comparison, but like I remember early on.
I mean, that's why we have colorists.
Right.
There's people that they dedicate their whole thing to being a colorist. Yeah. And color grading, and even like the thing with me when it comes to video is actually one of my newer disciplines. I didn't get to start doing video until like later on in my life, because I just didn't have a camera. I couldn't afford one until later in my life. And but I've always appreciated the art of film. So I mean, I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but I mean, now I'm just learning it. So like stuff like color correction and shit, I'm still getting better at. Because it's all technical stuff too, and it's like drawing. Like the more time you spend doing it, you just get better. And it's just, but the thing is, you don't get better if you don't spend time doing it.
Right.
You gotta spend a lot of time doing it.
Yeah.
Like you can't out of nowhere be good at coloring or color correcting or grading just by not doing it, just by watching videos. It doesn't work like that.
You have to like shoot a bunch of shit that you can't use because the color profile is all fucked up, or
doesn't match.
Like you might have gotten the shots right, but to color match from shot to shot, and then if you're like moving from indoor to outdoor, like you're gonna fail so much before you get it down right. But it's a marathon, right? I
mean, honestly, I just started getting like better. I mean, like knowing like shutter speeds and stuff like that, and like frame rates and stuff. That all took me a while to actually, like when I first started shooting, like I don't even know what frame rate I was shooting at, bro. Like I was probably shooting at 30 frames per second, which doesn't make any damn sense.
God.
Yeah, you never know until
it's like your iPhone shoots like 30, like 29.9 or something like that. And that's probably what I was shooting on like autofocus. Like it's all everything is cringy when you think about it. Like when you go back to your the beginnings of your process and shit. But
facts.
I mean, it's dope to level up. I mean, like that's why. I mean, throughout my life, we just need to like always learn and shit. When you're a creative, you're never not gonna learn, and if you do, you're just gonna get blown in the dust.
That's hella true, man. I it's really important to me personally that I like subscribe to like these YouTubers that like constantly put out these tutorials, because there will always be something like
updating.
I've noticed that I always refer back to tutorials, like even just last night, like making the GIF that actually you guys are looking at right now, like the skyline GIF.
Just kills it.
Yeah, like I was working with Don, and he mentioned like, oh, you should use EasyGIF, and then like it just clicked in my head. I'm like, yo, there's actually a tutorial on how to use EasyGIF.
What's EasyGIF?
EasyGIF is basically this online GIF generator, where it can save you a lot of time rather than like creating things always on Photoshop, like GIFs specifically. I've noticed that as time's kind of progressing, there are these generators that the community just creates online that makes your work like so much easier, whether it be like slowing down and reverbing music, or whether it be like creating GIFs. There's all these like online generator tools that like it makes your time,
makes your life easier, so
much easier, dude. And the quality is great, for like something you're just dumping online. Same with like PDF compressions. If you guys ever have any PDFs and they're way too big, I think it's like ilovepdf.com. You basically upload your PDF, and then you can like just like compressions. You can actually merge PDFs together through that generator. You don't have to buy like Acrobat Pro. Yeah, so
never that.
Yeah. My suggestion for anyone, like if you're ever like stuck at a point, like try to see if online there's like a generator you can use, because more so than
It's
not.
spelled easy, like E and then
The
Z.
letter E,
GIF.
the letter Z, GIF.com.
Got it.
Yeah. And yeah, like someone out there already asked that question before, and we're all looking for smart and quality ways of doing things rather than like building everything from scratch and, you know, spending a lot of time doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, building from scratch. I mean, that's the thing with our society now. We're so optimized to be like efficient.
It's kind of like you're gonna have to like find your own personal balance, because I feel like there are some things you can optimize, you know, and go quick with, which you should. Personally for me, I realize I try to look for like quick ways like in my process where I'm spending too much time doing something.
Unnecessarily, yeah.
Yeah, some of like the more common ones would be like when you're doing client work and they have like a very like specific look that they're consistently going for, and if I'm ever like repeating an action, I create an action for it, like in Photoshop.
On Photoshop.
Yeah. Do you use any actions for
I learned how to do it.
softwares, or?
Well, not presets, but not like actions where it's like it's doing like several features like at the same time and shit. But I used to do it in Photoshop, but I forgot how to do that.
I can show you if you're
Action scripts.
curious. Yeah.
Action
I think
scripts,
I use a
bruh.
lot of shortcuts, you know what I mean? Because it's really about the cutting in Premiere. It's not really
Hotkeys
about
all the
using
time.
a lot of filters or tools. Like, it's about the cut and the pacing. So
Sure.
I don't know if I really,
Yeah.
Yeah, Premiere is just like a different. It's just like it's like a chopping block, you know.
yeah.
It's like what can it just? You have like fucking butcher knives and like you know, all types of knives and shit. Just get to it, you know.
However, there are like pre-made sets that you can always use. Like presets are something I only learned like within the past year, seeing another designer next to me work. Like when he was given a task, he's a graphic designer that specializes more so in Illustrator, and he was given this assignment where he had to create this motion graphic, right? And I was just thinking, like internally, like I was like, how the fuck is he gonna do that? You know, like he does logos and stuff. How is he gonna do that, bro? Like this guy is so resourceful that a lot of like the complex things in After Effects, he found presets online. And
just drag and drop,
and then you adjust. You keep adjusting it. Like these presets that are created, basically like it's like a sushi kit, you know, like you can just buy the kit rather than like deciding
choose
on
your
the
fish.
So yeah, and then like you decide how many slices you want, you know, what kind of dipping sauce. Oh, I don't like the wasabi though, I just want to keep the soy sauce. Like there's a lot of these presets nowadays. I really kind of open my mind to when it
on a
comes
workflow.
down. Yeah,
because you can be more creative in something else. Like you don't have to think about the technical part of it too much.
Right. But more importantly, like you get that job done. You know, you get paid. You know, you can continue doing what you want to do.
The advantage of using like presets and stuff like that.
Yeah. Research.
Yeah, a lot of that motion graphic stuff, dude. Like you see, even all like the stuff you see like on Instagram, all that shit's presets. Like a lot of people don't really like. I mean, only the real people that do a lot of that stuff are like motion graphics that build the presets, and then they give them to like other people to use and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's all true.
I mean, yeah, doing a motion graphic from scratch is like kind of like it's insane. It's like too tedious.
Yeah, nah, facts, man. Fun tip too, as freelancers, you can expense your plugins too. So if you ever decide later down the road to go shopping for some plugins, which I highly advise you do, be sure to PDF print your receipts and then expense them while you file your taxes. It'll save you money. But Kaz, we are entering our third hour where we are to talk about your past projects. I know that during the first hour, you gave us a glimpse of that too. I want to give you the opportunity to dive back into the narrative that you had and
see where we're at on that part.
Yeah, I think.
Could we also like just look at that quick the motion graphic project real fast too, or is that
which motion graphic one?
The one with the card, or not the card, the NPC, the pink background, the NPC.
Fuck, let me see where I went.
C4D.
Shit. Where did it go? Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
Just real fast. Yeah.
So what? This is me just exploring with C4D, right?
Yeah.
and there's not really like I was like thinking of like objects to make, like because I'm like out here like, oh, what should I make like for like a model or something. I don't want to make a person. That's too organic, you know. Like but what's that, you know, everything starts from blocks in 3D, so making like a record player and the NPC was kind of fairly easy because they're all just basic shapes and shit. So I'm just playing, and this is me like messing around with like the lighting, so it's like a global lighting. So it shows you how like a natural light would be. So here's a few pans. And that's pretty much it. It's very
Sick.
You
So
know,
nice.
what's crazy is I didn't really know what to do with this video, and so like the background I put it up for purchase, and I had a few people that purchased it. So what I did is I created like this page on my website where I put that video up, and when they did purchase it, I just sent them the video, and I was just like, hey, check it out. Like this is actually where the print was from. And I didn't really like post it or anything, and I showed it, like I just showed it to them. So the only people that's really seen that is y'all and the people that bought that print.
Damn.
But now I just leaked that shit, so
It's dope because I actually did have a lot of interest in like doing cinema 4D. I remember Chris, he was mentioning, he's another graphic designer and motion graphic artist based out in New York. He was mentioning or advising actually that just in the industry direction for graphic designers, you should learn how to do like animation. Like that's just gonna be
3D.
the future. Yeah. And so just taking that into account, and also like, you know, this whole vaporwave movement, seeing like all these like neon lights, like these like glowing cities and everything. Like I wanted to create something like that too, and I was even thinking like, okay, like Cinema 4D. And yeah, I remember like
there's packs that you can buy.
yes, that's
So you can build your own world.
yeah,
that's
that's a
crazy.
smart way of learning it. But yeah, it was I think kind of what caused me to stop was, or at least not even start, was that a lot of people were advising that you don't do it on the MacBook Pro. You know, like
Yeah, the
it's just
hardware.
something. Yeah, it's rendering like that. Like these laptops don't
gonna
have
take
that kind
forever.
of. Yeah, it doesn't have that kind of capability. But yeah,
I mean, if you look at my animation, it's very bare bones. There's not a lot of texture, because what really like adds to the bandwidth or whatever, the heaviness to the processing is like when you start putting textures and art, like lights and stuff like that. That's when everything gets heavy. But everything was very simple on there, so like it was you know, it was doable, I guess. But yeah, definitely with the hardware, because when I went to school for it, we worked on like rigs. They're all like PCs and stuff that you could upgrade very easy. Yeah, but I mean, the 3D, I'm still like I'm like level like fucking 13.
dang.
You know, I'm like just starting on my quest.
Dude, I haven't even left it. I haven't started a training room yet, man. My friends like sent me like all these tutorials that I have like in Dropbox, like all these like lessons. But then like as I was downloading the software, like I was telling some friends, I'm like, yo, like I'm gonna start this Cinema 4D. I'm gonna start learning soon. They're like, oh great, what's your build like? I'm like, my what?
What? Oh, yeah.
They're like, I'm like, oh no, I'm doing this on my laptop, and they're like, what are you trying to
Okay.
do? Yeah, I'm like, oh, I want to create these like cities, like these scenes, you know, and they're like, we don't think you should do that yet. And like they basically told me that, you know, these laptops just don't have enough power for that.
Yeah.
So maybe later down the road. But
like for rendering, like it's gonna be tough for sure. But you know what you could still do is model, which is like what you usually do is you there's like it's like in video where like there's like some people that are specialties, like some people just like editing, some people like directing, some people like doing color correcting, some people like in 3D, some people like doing like just the models, like just building the models, right?
I see.
Some people do like nothing but animating, So
Yeah.
basically, they'll take the models and animate, create like animations and stuff.
Gotcha.
Some people all they do is lighting and particles.
Yeah.
So all they're doing is
so dope.
yeah, which is like, you know what's funny? Like when I was in school, that was like the part I hated
Oh yeah.
because it's so boring when you first get into it because it's like, you know, like you know that function in Photoshop, render clouds.
Yes. Those render clouds.
So basically,
It's a
that's kind of
tattoo.
like how you, yeah, it's like how you learn how to do like particles. It's like first you render a particle,
Mhm.
and then all you see is like balls floating up and down, right?
Mhm.
And so you control the parameters to like spin or like do something, turn into like fragments of light. There's so much things you can do, but it all starts from render particles.
Yeah.
Like it's like when you render shadows, you can turn it to different things and stuff.
Yeah.
Or render clouds. I mean, sorry.
Yeah. If anything, that interest in Cinema 4D has actually led me to consider After Effects more, and
You can do a little bit After Effects on there. I mean,
Yeah.
3D. Sorry, not After.
yeah, maybe even if not 3D, like just being able to move like vector shapes, you know, and create like smooth stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't take it that far. I just ended up like learning how to create like glitch effects, looping glitch effects, like swirl
Love-
wavy effects, you know. Like,
Gotta love the glitch effects.
yeah, man.
I love the
effects,
glitch.
man.
Yeah. And then
Shit right there.
actually download
I love
some
like
presets.
noise for like 2 seconds. I love noise
Yeah.
for a point second.
Wait, what does that mean? Noise for 0.2?
Just
Well, I
a
use,
little
like-
bit, a sprinkle.
Like for me, like a cheat code for me is like when I transition to another frame, I'll put like a little bit of like noise like on the end of it, like not even a second, like just like a little, you know, like
Just a little like subtle like ease into
It's like when you put texture.
Flash. Yeah.
it's like when you put texture to like a graphic, right? It's like, you know, you little put a
Yeah,
little
some
juice
Fight
on there.
Club shit right there. A 0.1 second. Right?
Yeah.
That's the magic touch, man. Like especially if you're doing like photo compositions, to add noise, it just blends everything a lot more better together. And
It's not everything's so flat and like shiny and shit.
yeah. It's not always a stylistic choice. It's sometimes like to make the image like better, you know, more
Yeah,
believable.
like pop something out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah, even with photos, like, cause I mean, sometimes I really don't like super. Like you always want a texture to it, you know. You don't
Right.
like something.
Yeah.
Something that's too like shiny or something, like got the wet look, you know.
Yeah, you don't want it to look too
plastic, you know?
Yeah, plastic's a great way to say it. Yeah, I usually add like subtle noise into my photos too. Gives it that little.
Now
rustic
everything's
feel.
so high def and shit, you know.
Yeah, like going backwards.
I mean, sometimes that's the look though. you
Yeah,
know?
high def.
Yeah.
I mean, I love high def. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just sometimes like, it's always that character that you're searching for, you know. Like in whatever medium it is, photos, video.
Something that defines it.
It's like
as
Wes
that
Anderson
person's-
shit is like super high def all the time,
Yeah.
but he has tons of character in it, so you know.
really works with your
Yeah.
content.
A lot of design in the shots.
Yeah.
Some people rely on high def, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when it looks like too high def, like it looks too hyper real almost. Like
Yeah,
that's,
and that's all you're bringing. Like you're not bringing like composition or cool editing,
yeah.
because
So
that's
you
what
can
a lot
just
of people.
rely on that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what a lot of people like. Their selling point is, oh, I shoot 8K. Okay.
Has an AKTV, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is cool. I mean, I don't want to knock anybody, but you know, to each their own for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Let's switch gears, guys. We were just talking about diving back into the slideshow you had.
It's a trip talking about yourself for a few hours.
I know, man.
It feels like narcissistic.
I think if anything, it's more so to kind of go through like a personal journey of your own, right?
Yeah.
For a lot of us, especially like in this like type of scene, we're always like trying to level up, and then like we kind of sometimes like forget like why we
To go
started in
back.
the first place. Yeah. So
That's a good point.
yeah, I hope going back through these, you kind of like remember some of like the old things that like kind of got you into any specific medium, and
Yeah, for
that
sure.
yeah, it kind of like refreshes your sense of what you're doing.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, just to jump on that, I guess I'll bring it back to this thing to go back to like when I went to school.
Also, it's kind of more like a creative therapy session, you know?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
a way for you to reflect.
Yeah,
and,
definitely when I was putting
know.
together this presentation, because you have to collect all your old photos and stuff, and
Yeah.
I almost got like emotional too because
Right? Yeah.
like damn, like it's like bringing back these old memories, especially with like the homies and some people you don't get to see that often anymore, but you still definitely like your brothers, sisters,
Yeah.
Like they still left a mark on you.
Yeah, and it's just they're still there. It's just we're all different now,
Yeah.
or we're all the different places in life and
Evolved.
shit
Yeah.
Ever changing.
But it's like
So
that.
here's
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just say here's more like these are like photos from when I was taking. I started in fine art. I didn't jump into video right away. I just took a couple classes in community college, like fine art.
Dang.
Can we full screen this or?
It's full screen on mine. You guys can't see it.
We have the browser window open. It's the same view as last time where you had like the PDF view of it.
For some reason, like when I full screen it, you guys don't see that I'm full screening.
You want to try that one more time?
Yeah, I'll try one more time. Command L's. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
Or what? I don't know why it keeps going back to that. It's. I mean, I'll stop share.
yeah. Let's try it one more time.
One more time.
I guess desktop 2. Is that better?
Yeah,
No.
and then
Try it.
maybe rather than full screening the window, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. Oh wait, where were we at?
I saw a
right
little
here.
Blue in Exile at first. Legendary album.
Oh yeah, this is I put the shot because this is like what we did on the daily. We just kicked it. You just kick it with your homies. There's a bong in the background, but
Hey,
listening to records.
little keyboard in the background too.
Yeah, it was another time in my life too.
Yeah.
But yeah, then this is like some of my schoolwork that I did. I took this class. It was a 3D conceptual art class, which basically is just you building stuff that's not like canvas or anything. It's just anything really, like it's more sculptural.
Oh.
And so I saw these pictures. I was like, damn, I actually kind of liked this project that I did. I created this project that was based on making things that were supposed to be visible, but you turn them into like, it was camo was the theme. So making things that were supposed to be visible, but you kind of try to make them hidden. So I spray painted this fucking this street cone in camouflage, and I put like some leaves on it. At the time, I was very like influenced by like street art and shit too. And so I wanted to try something like this, and then I put it in like in the street. I left it there.
Nice. Oh, you left it there.
Yeah, I just like
It's your gift to the world.
after I got my grade, I didn't have room. I was riding the bus and shit,
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to lug this thing everywhere,
I feel it.
and it was meant to just be left out in the world like that. So,
Nice.
and then I did this other one where I made this Molotov cocktail
Nice.
out of a Hennessy bottle.
I was about to
but that's
ask.
filled, and it's filled with shredded money.
Ah.
And it's kind of like a I don't know. I forgot how I explained that time. It was almost like this whole theme on capitalism and how it's kind of like it's pretty much like an explosion that happened too. That was just my thought. I had just had shredded money like readily available. So
Damn. There's a lot of layers to that.
yeah. Then this is me working on a painting and shit. My the background of this painting is like my sister was going through breast cancer,
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
and so I wanted to make like a how everyone does like those bands. What are they called? The breast cancer ribbons.
Oh, the
I mean?
ribbons. Yeah.
I don't know if I put a better picture, but I made my version of like a ribbon that's more abstract. I wonder if I put it in here. I didn't put it in here. Fuck. But yeah, that was like me working on that painting and shit. It was just kind of me thinking about her during that time. So.
Gotcha.
And like, I don't know, street art, like streetwear was always kind of a big thing for me too. And then I got to like work with some homies to do like I was always like the default t-shirt model for some reason. I don't know if it's because I had tattoos. Like all the homies always wanted me to model their t-shirt. So
Like you, go over there.
like this is Uncommon Value is Kyle's actual first brand.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
shit.
Bringing it back full circle, man.
Yeah, so this he'd probably hate me for showing this shit too.
Hey, it's all love, man.
No, but I always love the UV guys. They're all like, they remind me of my homies, like my day ones and stuff. So I always like really related a lot to them. They're like younger than us. They just reminded me of like the younger version of our crew. So like I always like fuck with UV super tough. I mean, I still call them UV to this day, like even though like they're not even a thing anymore. Like as a group, I always like I just refer to them as UV, even though it's like not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them have tattooed, so I don't know if they could say that.
Damn.
I didn't do the tattoo, but. And this is just like my other homie brand. They had this thing called the Inner Circle Clothing Company, which is like similar to UV. It's just like a group of homies that wanted to create something. There's this thing that I did called Free Love that was a collaboration with UV, because technically I wasn't our part of UV. But we did this event called Free Love, which was where like J.R. Jarris kind of did his first like DJ set. He wasn't even thinking about DJing at this point, but he was like, "Yo, just fucking spin, dude." And then we threw a free party at this warehouse, and we just basically turned up.
Nice.
And this is my old studio back in San Diego.
Dang.
I had this little spot that I like fucking painted the walls, and I painted that canvas because I wanted to do arrows, because I always wanted the arrows pointing up is like progress and stuff, always like upward motion, and so that's why. And red was for me it's kind of cliche, but passion. And like emotion, red was always my color. Even red was always my favorite color, but I didn't wear it though. Like I wasn't like wearing, like I don't think I look good in red, but I appreciate the color red, And if I'm a Taurus also, so if I see red, I better watch the fuck out.
I'm gonna come give you a hug.
It takes a while for me to get there though. So
Yeah.
And El Dorado was another place that we spent a lot of time in. Got some of my first like DJ gigs there too.
Nice.
I used to play for this place called this event called Butts to Nuts.
What?
Very specific. And sets the tone.
Wow, dude.
It was fun though, it's like I'm sure you can kind of sense the theme of what the night was,
Yeah.
They always had the funnest like video flyers too, because they would just take clips from like movies and shit, and it was just it was fun nights.
Yeah.
Nice.
San Diego is like has a big like special part of my heart, because I felt like, I don't know, it was easy to make friends out there. I don't know why. Like I felt like it pretty much aligned to what like my way of life was like, and I don't know, it was just a good time.
Nice.
Like a lot of times, like I don't even know why I moved,
Yeah.
Like it was just good.
After this pandemic, we need to mob down to SD.
I
I need to go there for the first time, try the Mexican food, and we need to
was
drop
about to
by
say.
Riza's place.
Yeah.
First thing is
we
Mexican
definitely-
food.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you can hit Mexican food all down San Diego, but there's a few spots that people prefer.
Gotcha.
Everyone has their own
Yeah.
spots though.
Yeah.
Mikey, I remember like he drove me to his spot to go get a California burrito. He's like, "This is the best spot." I'm like, "All right." Like,
There's arguments. People have been shot over stuff like this before too.
Oh shit. Damn.
Arguably one of the better spots are kind of the more cuttier ones too.
Yeah. Usually it's like
So-
that.
Yeah,
I went to one taco spot that was known for their al pastor. It was pretty lit.
Nice. Oh, there's a ribbon painting.
yeah. That's the ribbon painting. It says love,
nice.
kind of like in an abstract, kind of loose way. But when I took acid, I painted this picture,
Which one?
the middle picture.
Dang.
Wow.
It was just
Were
like
you reminiscing of Lisbon? Which
Actually,
harbor is that?
it's not really a harbor anywhere specifically. I just like if you look at the painting, the ship is not really, there's not much detail. It's just black really. If you look at it, it's not like you see anything in the
Silhouette.
dock. Yeah, it's more of a silhouette.
Mhm.
And it was just like, for me, like a ship is always like a representative, like a vehicle, going somewhere, like on a trip. Not necessarily like even just like jumping on a ship, but like a vehicle somewhere,
Mhm.
And the one to my right is my old business card.
Oh,
that I used to. I was messing around with, like, I think I borrowed my friend's camera and messing around with like taking a picture, watercolor,
Yeah.
using Photoshop to crop it out and then putting it on the photo. Which
Wait.
like at the time I thought it was like super cool.
What year was it around?
Which one?
During
These are all different years, like
different
2000.
years.
Yeah, these are kind of random, but the one to the all the way far right is 2009. The love one, my sister had breast cancer in like 2011. And the middle one's like me during like not high school, college, like 2012, 13, somewhere around there.
Dang. What for that middle one, real quick? Is that all chalk?
Chalk? Oh no, it's actually just acrylic paint. Yeah, it's just like very like I don't know. I was like in a very like psychedelic mode, because you know when you're on Sykes, you see like the double, almost like aura, or like, you know, layer of like red or something. So that's kind of where I was like, kind of inspiration for that.
Nice.
And it's funny because like someone gave me a canvas to paint for them, and that's what just came out.
Nice.
And they're like, "What made you want to like paint that?" That was a song Tab, you know.
Drugs. I like
Yeah.
it.
And then then I moved to the Bay. And I don't know why. Roxy's. Have you guys ever had Roxy's?
That place is legendary, dude.
Yeah.
And for its reputation, like I think there are better joint site nowadays for like
Yeah.
these sandwiches. But like I went to James Denman Middle School, and like it wasn't too far to like walk over to Roxy's.
Oh, in that area?
Yeah.
So you're by that park.
Yeah.
That-
Balboa Park ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roxy's. Yeah. There's definitely like a lot of places that, you know, could have a better sandwich, but
Yeah.
like I always like when we went to the Bay, we'd always stop at Roxy's because like all the homies are like always hyping us on this. So it was like a ritual for us when we went to the Bay Area. Like when we first touched down, first thing we do is hit Roxy's.
Did you?
We're hungry.
It was for their Dutch Crunch bread, right?
Tri-tip Dutch Crunch.
Yes, sir.
Eat that upside down so you don't like fucking cut your mouth on the roof or cut the mouth on sharp ass bread.
Yeah,
It's so good,
yeah,
though.
that's a pretty fucking sharp.
Yeah.
But the owner is like super nice guy too.
Super local.
Very friendly. Yeah.
Honestly, that when I think of SF and when it comes to the community or what like SF kind of stands, or at least in my vision, I think of like stuff like that, you know, like kind of like a city, like a community. You know, people like like establishments built by people in the city and not anywhere from else.
Locals. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not.
Like
I
if
mean,
you're
I'm not.
born
a
and
local.
raised here, yeah. But if you were born and raised here, I feel like the tone is like we're pretty down to earth people. We keep it real with you, you know. Like don't fuck with us, and we'll be all good, you know. Like, yeah.
And it's like just be real, like, you know. That's that's the vibe I always felt from SF. Like you can just be who you want to be. Talk to people, figure out what the fuck is going on with them too.
Yeah.
And just be part of the community, like you know.
Yeah.
Don't like be a dick. You know? If you are a dick, you'll probably get your ass beat. You know, like like it's that kind of city, and that most people are open to. I mean, SF's different now, but most people were open to any lifestyle. You know.
There were a lot more artists back then too, and it felt like very much alive, you know, in the city. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the era I miss about the Bay, because it's interesting being in this part of the Bay at this point in time.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like not what I remember from visiting all those years, you know.
Definitely changed a lot.
Which is, you know, like when I first moved out, I had this hope that I could be part of that new change or something.
Yeah.
Like but there was like a few things that struck me down, but like I still feel that way though, you know. Like that's why I like love being part of like Nüfly, because this is me being able to be part of the community, and that's why I'm always like I always have a lot of gratitude to know friends that are in the scene, and I never want to lose. Like it doesn't matter how old I get. I mean, it's gonna be at a different capacity, obviously, but you know, I still always want to be part of a community that's like that, especially in a city like SF, because that's like a dream come true, you know. Like before I moved back to Reno, my goal was to move to San Francisco. You know, and eventually I feel like a lot of my goals come later when I want them. They don't come when I actually like want them, right?
Yeah, man, such is life, dude.
You know that, yeah, that's just how
Really
it
sucks.
works. Like
Yeah.
you get it when you're ready for it, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you
Yeah,
gotta
I mean-
really be careful what you wish for. I remember the director of Capote, I met him when I was like 16, Bennett Miller, and when he signed my DVD, he was like, be careful what you wish for. And this is after I
It's
told
kinda
him what I wanted
ominous.
to do. He was like,
That's a good t-shirt.
because I told him what I wanted to do. I was like, yeah, I want to be a film director. He's like, be careful what you wish for. You know, I was like, shit.
that path.
Like, so that really made me very intentional, and like that's why I'm really good at saying no to things that don't make sense. Because I'm like, you know, you don't know what you're inviting in when you say yes to certain things that like you think might.
It'll take time.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Yeah, that I definitely want to put that on a shirt.
Be careful what
Be
you
careful
wish
what you wish for. Yo,
for
we
sure.
should. That could be a Nüfly t-shirt.
It's just finessing the letters is a million ways.
for. Let's talk about that later.
Or it could be a fortune cookie.
I could see Don doing something like that. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just newer works, but like this is Procreate. I mean, I just started getting into Procreate. Still fairly like new to it. But yeah, this digital age now, baby. And so this
It's
is some-
fire, dude. Yeah, definitely see the evolution.
Yeah, I
Looks
hear
so nice.
so many good things about Procreate for illustrators. Like,
It's so easy.
yeah, it's like, I just hear like the functionalities of it is just really intuitive. And
Like, it
Wait,
doesn't
what is
have
it
what-
exactly? Wait, hold up.
It's an app for your
Oh.
an
iPad.
iPad, and then
Oh,
That's what I use to
shit.
draw on. You know, like when
Yeah.
like sometimes I was sketching on Doodle.
it's kind of the
Got it.
industry.
It's very
standard
bare
right
bones
now.
too.
Yeah,
It's not like Photoshop where you have like all these like. I mean, you do have like some like blur options or whatever, but it's like it's very bare bones. It's different pens or like tips that you can even like simulate like paint, but I'm not really too into that. It doesn't feel, you know, if I'm gonna paint, I might just paint, you know. But
I've seen,
yeah, it's just very bare bones and
Yeah.
just let you do what you gotta do.
I've seen a lot of homies sketch, take a photo of that, and then like do the line work inside Procreate, and then export it into Illustrator to do the fine tuning and vectorizing. Yeah, and like you,
Which I used to do that too, but fuck, dude, that takes forever, dude.
like 3 stages.
Yeah, and so that's how I really appreciate Procreate because I can sketch like you gotta try the pencil tool in Procreate because it's a trip because it really feels like you're sketching
Wow.
based on like how heavy you press and stuff,
Yeah.
and you can sketch real light if you want to like kind of just map it out
Yeah.
and not go like super hard on the lines.
Yeah.
And then from there you just take another layer and then you use your pencil and you get the sharper lines, the darker ones. And so like that already eliminates you from like having to like scan it or take a picture of it, like fucking send it to your computer, open it on Photoshop. That's like 3 or 4 steps already.
Yeah.
That's pretty time consuming, you know. So,
Yeah. I guess it depends on like the application. A lot of these friends that were doing those different stages, the application for the final product was to be like printed on all sorts of like packaging, for example. Yeah, so they had to like vectorize it.
But there's nothing wrong with starting on paper too, because I know a lot of artists that, you know, they can't get away from that either.
Yeah.
They still like to. I mean, I still like to get down on paper, and you should, because sometimes like using like because on Procreate to go back, all you need to do is tap with 2 fingers. And sometimes like I was drawing on paper one time and I was like, I did a line that I didn't quite like, so I was like, I fucking tapped the paper and I was like, I'm a fucking idiot.
Bong's hitting too hard right now, man.
Yeah, like like dude,
The reflex is yeah.
because like you get into the whole flow, because like a lot of like Apple stuff and like it's all gesture, right? Right, so they're training you to use all these gestures and shit, so yeah, you got to go back to real shit too.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's like when you go, like, you're a photographer, sometimes you need to just shoot with film for a while, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so you don't lose that I don't know, like that. It's not a risk, but it's just that feeling, you know?
It's the experience of kind of slowing down. I know this is like a common thing a lot of people say. It's like, oh, like every shot's intentional, like, you know, you slow down, but it's true, you know, like as you're shooting, you know, more so often than not, if you want to be like if it's client work, I'm probably gonna shoot, and they're asking me for film, I'm probably gonna shoot 3 different exposures just to be safe, you know,
just to kind of test it out.
You really got only one try, and like you don't know how it's gonna look like until you get it developed. Yeah.
Let me move on to the next one.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit. I was gonna show my Japan video, but I don't know what time.
Do you have it? Do you have it saved? We still got some time.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I want to show that one is because it was like a life-changing moment for me.
This was last year with Jess.
Like it, you know, I'm just like I've been like a fanboy of like Japanese culture for a while.
You're telling me, dude.
And so it was just a dream come true, and it like kind of it reinforced certain things that I believed that I thought was true and shit. But I think when I actually saw it, it was almost like better than what I thought it was, you know.
Damn.
And
this was your first time going to Japan?
Yeah, it was my first time. Fresh version, Japan virgin.
Yeah, dude, I haven't even popped my cherry yet, man. I was supposed to be in Korea like, you know, later last month.
That's a heartbreaker.
I know. Oh, let me lower the music for our trapping in Japan for your Japan video.
For this one, I can just talk through it too. We don't have to like actually like.
Okay.
Because it's pretty much just instrumental, anyways.
Roger that.
I'll just play it, but yeah.
Go.
The audio is not on.
No. I think there's some kind of like
I don't know what
issue.
happened. It was just a
straight line from your screen sharing.
In the middle of, yeah.
Oh, okay, let me see it. Let me pull it up again. A straight line?
Yeah. Maybe just try it one more time. I don't think it full screened right away. It got stuck on.
Oh, it's because I moved. I fucking moved the window out of a different screen. Okay, that's probably that.
Yeah, I remember we had dinner after you got back, and I had gone back from my trip, and we're just reflecting, and you were like, "Yeah, fuck, I wish I could live there." You're like, you had gone
homesick.
in like
or not homesick,
like
Japan
found some
sick.
like streets of a bunch of stores that literally had everything you'd ever want to buy. You're like, fuck, why can't I just buy everything here?
Kaz,
Yeah, I felt broke as
Vintage
shit.
shops, you know.
Kaz, I want to make some time where we need to talk about clothes too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can do it after.
Lab is the fire.
Dude, that's like a. I wonder what it's like to work with them, but yeah, Team Lab is super dope. Out there, they have this exhibition like where it's all visual projections. I'm sure you've seen like people that take photos there and stuff.
I've used some of them, like images that people took from that gallery, to composite it into some of the work that I did.
Like, oh, sick!
I'm so
Dude,
They
imagine
also,
going
like-
there.
yeah.
Yeah, they took over a whole building like near SJ like years back, like 4 or 5 years back.
I remember, and that shit
Were
was
you
like,
there?
you got no. I could never like find the time to go down there.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Was that like
So good.
reservations?
I
you
think
just pulled
Soy
up?
had gotten a bunch of tickets for a group, and I just like paid him, and I went with him down to check it out. That was pretty fire.
Dude, if Team Lab ever come back, I gotta like anything by those guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't forget us. I want to come.
We're all going.
We should talk about clothes.
Oh right.
Oh, are
last
you done
15
with your? Are you done with
Maybe
your
maybe
slides?
not yet, but maybe we could talk about that for a little bit. I
Did
want
you
to.
finish your slides already, or
Not yet.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure you had a couple more, but
Okay.
if we can actually.
Just if you guys have questions, because I'm running kind of low on shit.
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Kaz, I wanted to know just how would you introduce your kind of perspective on clothes, and like what does it mean to you? Because this is something that I feel you and I personally really connect on. So I want to give you an opportunity to talk about, you know, what clothes mean to you, why you decide to, you know, go down the specific routes of deciding on what styles to explore. What about clothes is it that connects with you?
Cause I wouldn't even say I'm like the biggest like not even like a fashionista or like high snob or something like that, you
But you
know.
got some
But
sauce. You got a little sauce. You got a little.
I think it all
style.
goes back to just design and art and stuff, you know, like how we like music, how we like design.
Right.
I just appreciate anything that's well made, you know.
Yes.
There you go. That's it.
You know, it's like because it doesn't have to be expensive either, you know. Like if it looks if it strikes me as like good design or something that I can relate to, then that's what I mean. It definitely with fashion or the way I look fashion is like how you present yourself, like physically, like with your clothes and stuff like that. Like we have the option to kind of, I don't want to say advertise, but like, you know, like everything that we have kind of has a message a lot of times. Like fashion brands always try to have like a message towards whatever the shirts they have. So, you know, it's just like whatever that's relevant to you. And so, I mean, that's just my thing on it. I don't want to say like I'm the craziest like dresser or anything like that. I mean, I think most of the stuff I like is fairly simple, you know. But I mean, like one of my homegirls told me that like, yeah, you have like a very simple style, but at least it has like a statement, you know. And so I don't know, like when your fashion is also your lifestyle too.
Yes.
So like a lot of times tattoos have been kind of that crutch for me too, because I can just wear a black t-shirt and people know that like, oh, you know, I'm about that life. You know, so
You don't have to work at it because this design is literally on your skin. Yeah.
you know, yeah. Sometimes like when you wear a graphic tee, when you have tattoos, it's kind of doing too much.
That's
You
all
know?
true, man. It's like a little
Even though like
overwhelming.
all the people that love tattoos, they love graphic shit too. I mean, tattooing is a very graphic style, anyways. You know, everything's very much like illustrative and shit like that. You know.
Yeah. And it can
So-
look a little too busy. You know.
Yeah.
You have like graphic on graphic on graphic. Like,
You're a graphic, basically.
basically.
Yeah, so I mean, like as I get older, like I'm more into like I don't want to say minimal because it's like minimal is too easy to say for me. It's more like thoughtful design, you know, functional. Like as I get older, I just like stuff that kind of has a story and yeah, like more function. Like I really like Stone Island because it what I like about Stone Island is they have themes of masculinity that I can kind of relate to when I could being like part of the military and stuff. And it always reminded me just like of a guy alone, a lone traveler.
It's very like
Or, like-
tactical. It like protects you from elements. And this shit is well made. You know, you're paying a pretty nice price for that.
And yeah, that goes back to design and you know, production and shit. because I mean that's what we do. We create stuff. We're producers.
Yeah.
So like naturally, I think we would appreciate something that's produced well too, right? You know, because that's what inspires me. I'll look at a jacket and be like, wow. I mean, I'm not gonna want to make a jacket, but it might inspire me to make a better video or a better like illustration or something, you know? Because like I'll see this piece of clothing, and it's like, clothing is art, you know?
It is.
Like you have a really nice jacket, you can't help but like look at it and like, wow, this is like,
You admire
this is a
it,
piece.
you protect it. It's like a baby
Exactly.
too.
To this day, some of the stuff that I cherish the most are pieces of clothing, which is, I don't know if that's materialistic, but I mean, clothing is like it protects us, you know, it like keeps us
It
warm and
protects
shit.
you from, you know, your environment.
The elements.
Yeah, the elements protect you from elements.
That's what I kind of wish about the US scene, is like I wish it was more about that, because I feel like now it's just a lot about like labels and being part of being part of a lifestyle. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a part of a lifestyle. It's just, is it honest, you know?
It's actually kind of the other way around, right? Rather than a lifestyle, which it should be in America, it's more kind of like what brand is that?
Yeah.
How much did you spend on that? How rare was it, you know? And it's kind of like evolved into this weird kind of like flex, you know,
reselling,
this tool of like showing
called
how
clout.
just how much, you know, clout you got, basically, because it's expensive, you know. But behind all that facade, like, there are still people who, it's, you know, for some of us, clothes match our lifestyles, you know. If we're talking like for functionality too, you know, a lot of us here in the Bay Area are commuters, you know, so we have a lot of shells, we have a lot of light pieces. Yeah. Have you?
The Bay Area is a good area for like tactical jackets and stuff.
Yeah.
And utility kind of like wear and stuff.
Absolutely. What do you look for if you're in the mood to expand your wardrobe?
I mean, you know what I'll say I've been liking a lot is I've always liked, but I never had like the money, is like expanding on my formal wear too. Like just dressing well, you know, like I mean, you have a book that really like I want to check out too. It's by Yoji Yamamoto.
It's so good, dude.
I don't have a lot of clothes by this dude, but I definitely want, you know, this is the type of stuff I want to start getting more too.
Yeah.
You know, blazers, just being more like, as I get older, I want to start, you know, dressing my age too. Because I believe when you get older, you don't have to change like the way who you are, but you also have to upgrade yourself. You know, you gotta level up.
And by
by
upgrading, it's like diving deeper into your lifestyle, right?
Yeah. And then definitely the Japanese are good at like diving deep into a lifestyle and almost like living it. You know, like we were talking about, like, you know, brands and stuff like that. But you know what I appreciate? It's like that gritty skater kid that wears Supreme, that's bombing like a SF Hill, you know?
Yes, sir.
You know, that's what it's all about, you know? That's like
encapsulating the energy of the jacket.
Yeah. These pieces.
Some kids like rock Supreme, but then like, what the fuck can you do, you know? Like, what are you about? You know, like what is more to it than like your clothes and stuff? Clothes can be your armor and shit, like your statement to who you think you are and stuff, but
it should also feel comfortable and make you feel good at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah, because for me, like, it's inspiration. That's what I get the most from it, you know?
For the kid out there who feels the need to buy Supreme, maybe to kind of feel seen, what kind of advice would you give him? Now, you know, kind of going through that route yourself, what have you learned that you would provide some advice to?
Just be like Belinda said, be careful what you ask for, because you might look stupid in a couple years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you want to be. That's why I feel like for me, honesty has been like, it's becoming more and more like important to me, because it's like time will expose like shit that's like not legit, you know. If you're just there for like the time being, and then eventually that trend's gonna go, and you're just gonna look stupid because you're gonna have all this stuff, you know. So you should definitely just like search for something that's honest to you, that you like.
Yeah.
And it's designed where you can finesse anything, you can spin anything. It's just all about, you know, your confidence.
Yeah. what would you say to the people who are maybe around our age? We're gonna go into hot take areas. What would you say to the people around our age that is living trend by trend? You know, the people who like, I'm calling out shots here, like people who like shop on Fashion Nova, you know, people who still go to like Zara, you know, like, is there something for these people who like follow the trends? You got any takes on those?
For me, it's hard because like I know people that really just like that stuff too, you know. And I can never like. For me, I always try not to hate on people too, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to like preach to people either, because I mean, it's like, who to say I'm right either.
Right.
But I mean, it's just, for me, it's just like, if you really, really, really like that, like that's honestly what you like, then have fun with it, you know. But you also got to know like the backstories and stuff too, like. And that's why it's like it's important to actually know the shit that like you're into. So if you knew about fast fashion, you know they're stealing from designers. You know they're exploiting like probably like fashion workers, or not fashion, factory workers.
Right.
And you know that's why you know being conscious about it is more important and shit. But yeah, it's like it's just being honest with yourself and shit. And if that's okay with you, then go ahead.
I feel it. Very safe words.
You know, I'm not gonna start capping like Tory Lanez on.
Fucking Tory Lanez, man.
know, man.
What the hell is wrong with that guy?
That guy's a joke right now.
What the fuck, man?
We're shooting fires. We're shooting shots.
I sent Kaz a Bryson Tiller video yesterday that he dropped. Dude, so fire, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Kaz texted back, he's like, yeah, I prefer him over Tory Lanez. I was like, yeah, fuck Tory Lanez. Dude, what the hell?
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm more there for a Bryson Tiller comeback then, because he was kind of like, I don't want to say he dropped, he fell off. He just didn't really put anything out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went into Frank Ocean hiding, I feel like.
Bryson and Jeremiah over Tory Lanez, man.
Yeah,
sure.
Jeremiah is pretty, dude, Jeremiah was like my 2016 summer.
He's got some heat, man. He does.
That fucking, what's that song called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
They played this fucking everywhere.
It was hella nice though.
Kind of had like this.
We. OUI.
Oh yeah, that was one too. That he had a few like those were the
one?
summers.
Don't tell him.
Yeah, don't tell him.
Don't.
Remember
That meme did.
Yo, that song has 325 million views, or
300 million?
325 million plays on Spotify.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
Yeah,
300 million?
that's a lot.
That no wonder he hasn't dropped anything, because that's all he has to fucking make, you know?
Yeah.
Some people are like that, man. You drop a gem and you disappear until next wave of inspiration.
Honestly, that's
comes.
I think that's how I'd want it, because then when you drop, you get all the money, and then you can just explore for like a few years, you know?
Hella true. Man.
Dan, you remember how I was like looking for a jacket, and I was like, yeah, like $500, right? We haven't like found anything yet. But I was with Don the other day.
That's your budget?
And he went into the surplus. Yeah. Well, I was thinking like for a good quality jacket. You know, like the blue one, that the North Face one I wear all the time, that's Gore-Tex. I spent $500 on that jacket. And I like wear it all the time, right? So I was like, all right, something of that quality, right? But I was with Don, and then we went to a surplus store right by his
Military?
his house, the military one. I was like browsing around, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know if I really want any of these Carhartt t-shirts, because he was in there to get Carhartt t-shirts to make our screen prints. Just a couple of their own
the
custom
samples?
ones. Yeah. And then I went into the other room in the back, and they had like this jacket.
You have it?
It's a Carhartt jacket.
Oh, sick.
Like, I don't know if should I wear it or?
If you want.
I don't know if we can see it though, well, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
looks
It's
heavy.
just really.
Like
it looks very heavy duty.
It's
Yeah.
like a little canvasy.
And you like it?
But yeah, dude. I don't know. I just wore it.
It probably wasn't.
Like, I put
probably
it on.
affordable too, huh?
Dude, I put it on and I was like, yes, I want this. Like right now. Like it was like an impulse buy. I was like looking for the price, and I was like, there's no price on this thing. I was like, but you
How
know,
much was it?
like after you wear something that you feel like this was made for you, I was like, shit, I'm just gonna buy it. You know, I went up to the counter. I
It was like
asked
70
how
bucks.
much. bro, that shit was 140.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not bad.
I was like, whoa.
It's like a normal price for a jacket. Well,
Yeah,
sorry,
no,
your
but I thought,
average
like,
price.
Yeah, for like a nice jacket, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, shit, like,
Dude, Carhartts are like bulletproof, like.
It'll last you a lifetime.
yeah,
workwear.
man. I was like, wait, I didn't expect 140. I was expecting like, I don't know. I've never bought anything
Well,
Carhartt,
military
so I don't
surplus
know.
are pretty
Yeah.
affordable.
Surpluses are pretty. Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Like, fuck it, I'll buy it. You know? I totally did because I felt like I could, like, when I wore it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be wearing this for years. You know,
Nice.
like that kind of
Yes.
feeling. Like that was, yeah.
I'm glad-
Like, that's what I go into when I buy clothes now.
I'm glad you
Because
approached it
it's
with
all-
the mentality. Yeah.
But also, my dad put that on me too when I was like a little kid. Like, just because, like, when you buy stuff, make sure you can keep wearing it for years. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can keep buying another one. Like, you're gonna have way too much shit in your closet.
Hmm.
I know there's a lot of stuff.
I
gotta get
noticed
rid
a
of,
brain
too.
dead jacket in the back, by the way. A little flex there.
Oh, I noticed that last week
What are
too.
you talking about?
Just like, I don't want anyone to come in here taking my.
I had him show me last time too. I was
Someone's
like,
gonna just see that rack in the back and be like, "Yeah, I'm going in there."
Please don't. Anyways, we're coming close to our end actually. Kaz, I want to give you an opportunity to finish going through the slides in case you had any.
actually, that was. I'll show one,
Let's just- yeah.
one
Yeah.
last one because this
Let's
is more
do it.
personal. It's really nothing. It's just the last few items that I've been working during quarantine. Just not even like any kind of like professional projects. It's more just like on the side, just drawing and shit. Can you see?
We're seeing Premiere right now.
Oh shit! Why is it?
Make sure you click on the right.
And I thought I'd be like clicking.
Click. tap on the paper.
We're looking at the Cinema 4D one right now.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, these are just
Oh,
two.
nice.
Oh dang.
Isn't that really? They don't really.
Rest in peace, Dolce. Oh.
Yeah, they don't really constrain to any of the styles that I showed you guys. These are just like just exploring and shit. I made this first one like when we were in lockdown, like in March and shit. Like it was just me like kind of like wanting to go somewhere new and like Airbnb or something.
Yeah.
Just like take a trip somewhere.
for sure.
Just want to explore the outside world.
Yeah.
For quick question, Kaz, for color palettes, do you use any systems or is it more kind of like
I
personal?
noticed like if I just find the color palette right away, it's almost like when I find a track, I'll just use that to like go by it, like draw the lines and then just use the palette so you don't gotta think about like doing too much. And so it feels like
It's really
I want to keep exploring that.
it's really complimentary. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
to
it's all.
look at.
Yeah, they're all just part of this color palette that I started out with. You know me and pinks. I love pinks for some
Hey.
reason. I don't know why.
Shout out Pink. I also noticed Dan's got pink in the back too. He color coordinated everything.
Oh, my emotions.
Pink
And
represents.
then this is the last one. This is the last one I did with Dolce. It's kind of like the polar bear
yeah, I see it.
feel.
It reminds me of
Yeah, just the kind of my dog that passed away like last year, so
rest in peace.
kind of memorialize him through that. So here's my phone screen background.
Dang.
Oh.
And yeah, that's pretty much like all my stuff. And yeah, just thanks for sitting through 3 hours of me talking about myself.
It was easy, right?
It was easy, but it's just a trip talking to yourself about someone.
I feel it, man. Well, we can go ahead and wrap up. Oh, actually, and any last thoughts on whether it be your journey that we might have maybe missed that you want to talk about, or your process, or any past projects?
Well, not so much. I'm just kind of like, I know we're in a crazy time with like the way that our world is. But I have a feeling that, I have hope for my work that I want to do.
Yeah.
And I just want to keep pushing. It's not like looking back is super important, but just keep doing, not really stopping, just even probably like shifting up and just going faster and stuff. And just to continue to learn and experience this shit. really just can't wait to get back into like the normal. I mean, there's nothing normal anymore, but
Facts.
I just want to get back into the world. I definitely need to go back to Japan. I need to go see Hong Kong. I need to see. There's a lot of shit I want to see still.
Dude,
so.
I'm trying to go to Japan. I'm trying to go to Hong Kong. I'm trying to go to Kuala Lumpur, Bali. Like,
Yeah,
man, let's fucking go when it's like safe to go.
Yeah.
And so we're in the process. We're like in the middle, which, reading a lot of different books. I mean, that's where a lot of people say this is the best time. So.
Personally, I'm just buying a lot of art books or magazines.
Yeah.
That's my form of therapy right now.
Right, and see the world in pictures.
Yeah. I'm like picturing that Wolverine meme right now, where you see a hella photos, but you're just like
You see a
touching
picture of the world.
Yeah, it's like hella sentimental.
And it's like a globe and shit.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, thanks for everyone and everybody that tuned in too.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you for our viewers.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Definitely, it was a pleasure. I'm just gonna go ahead and recap real quick. In the beginning, you told us we started your story back when you were in Reno, and then after that time, after high school, you went to the military, and then after finishing that, you started exploring rapping, and then you alley-ooped it into.
It sounds so random.
Not really, it sounds like music was kind of like a overlying kind of like theme for your kind of like direction.
Yeah.
Because that eventually led you into b-boying, and then if I remember right, after that you eventually started doing some tattoo works. Yeah, which led you to eventually go into motion graphics, and then while talking about motion graphics, it sounds like your process usually is that you decide on a tone or like a word or a theme when you first start this project, selecting your music in advance.
And the word was awaken.
Yeah,
right?
for his 2020 highlight reel. And yeah, using your resources, like audio resources. And this eventually then brought us to you exploring fine art, and which eventually led into going to Procreate, and I believe brings us back to our present, right? Did I miss anything?
Dan always has good memory.
I try to take some mental notes.
We also talked about Speakproper, about how that's been your
Right.
screen name for the longest.
Hey.
And
I just never want to change my passwords. My password's been the same forever too. If you know my password, you know my shit.
oh damn,
I vary it because I always have
Since then too.
yeah.
I have one password that I remember getting when I got locked out of the OC message board on Fox.
OC.
The OC. I used to watch the OC. They used to have
the
like
show?
message boards for
Really?
for TV.
I can't picture you watching the OC for some reason.
The music supervisor on those shows killed it, man. I used to
Yeah,
listen
the
to
OC
some
is, like, so,
alternative
like-
rock shit.
Oh, I see. It just seems like, I don't know, you wouldn't be into, because it's like a bunch of like SoCal people and shit.
I know. I don't know, man. I got into the show.
Guilty pleasure.
It was
Yeah, there
definitely
was those
guilty
little
pleasure.
random shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tight.
But yeah. Gaz, just to wrap up, let people know like what you're currently up to. If you want to promote anything, where people could find you.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
For sure, this promo time, baby. But anyways, like you heard, everything. Most of my handles speak proper on most platforms that I'm actually on. So there's on Instagram, SoundCloud, and also if you want to check out some old shit, go to my Tumblr, speakproper@tumblr.com.
Hey.
But one of my newer websites is called speakproper.gallery. Nothing after that. It's just Speak Proper Gallery, and you can see some of my newer prints and my last screen print that I did on T-shirts. But I'm pretty much sold out of those. But yeah, if you want to check out some of my quick strike prints, you can view those there,
Nice.
and it'll pretty much funnel you anywhere else too. So yeah, thanks for viewing. Hope I didn't bore anybody, but yeah.
Nah, you good,
Nah,
man. Well, Kaz, we had a blast talking about your journey today. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and wrap up right now. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. If I remember right, the sun's like kind of blazing right now. So if you ever need to step
How are
out
you
to
wearing
get
your
some
jacket
air,
right now? Do you have aircon?
I have a fan on, and it's like a kimono jacket, no Robbie shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to get on this
It's
Ghost
loose.
of Tsushima.
Goes to Tsushima. What? Tsushima. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Ghost of Sashimi.
It's sashimi. Well, thank you so much again for everyone. We'll be signing off right now. I'm one of your 3 hosts today. My name is Daniel, art director here at Nüfly. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Dakfu. I'm gonna hand the microphone over to Belinda.
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for joining us again on this very bright and sunny Saturday. You can find me, I'm the editor-in-chief here. You can find me at _ZenRabbit on all platforms. And I'm gonna pass the mic over to Kaz now.
All right, guys. Yeah, I'm sure you guys learned enough about me today. But yeah, you can find me on newgrounds.com.
Hey.
And then thanks for joining us today.
All right, guys. Shout out to Newgrounds, and without further ado, thank you so much again, and we'll be signing off. Peace until next week. All right, take care.
너가 뭐라고 하든 난 그냥 할 거야. 내가 하고자 하는 거 그냥 할 거야. 내가 하고 싶으니까 그냥 계속 할